So, hi there everyone, this is OK here, and we are recording the match between Jasugi99, aka 12teen, also known as Cheesy Bread from Fix, possibly the best Bughouse player in the world, at least one of the top two or three, again, one of the top two or three Crazyhouse players in the world, and having beaten Opperwaisen in an exhibition match of 100 games, he is now facing off against JannLee in an exhibition match of 110 games with $110 prize money funded by Offerwaisen and Master Tan. So I'm not going to live stream this. So I'm going to keep, and I want to, if you want to see the live stream, watch Mugwort Crazyhouse, and I don't want to split the viewers. And so maybe on this stream, just giving a different perspective. I'm going to be watching the match from Jasugi99's perspective. I imagine JannLee and Mugwort will both stream from JannLee's perspective. And hopefully can maybe give something also for players who aren't as strong. Hopefully give some insights of what's going on. And so we see in the chat F-Gala, Kramka, Opperwaisen, Morad, Legion Destroyer, Lix82, Ulceran, the finisher, Gingerbread Man. So people are just joining, and Mugwort is there as well. And so just to check, Mugwort should be live streaming this. I'm just going to open up, and I've set my Twitch to host Mugwort. So if anyone goes to my Twitch, hopefully it'll open up Mugwort's stream. Yep, JannLee and Mugwort both streaming this. Excellent. So we're ready to go, and I'm also streaming from the Discord House Party channel, so if anyone wants to hop in and join me, you're more than welcome. This will be 110 games, so I expect it to last about 3 hours and 20 minutes or so. Slightly less than 2 minutes ago. And it's begun. I'm just going to tell you in the chat, Mugwort's streams, I'm just going to record. Okay, so we're into... Interesting. Instead of putting the bishop on g5, he's going with the knight and sacking on f7 and sacking the queen as well. Okay, so this bishop is providing good coverage for his king, but he has sacked his queen for this. So okay, this is going rather quickly. Let me think. So queen takes bishop was not possible because of knight at f6 check, picking up the queen. So that was the idea of that. It's a little trap there. So why wasn't he taking the queen? Probably he wasn't taking the queen because g3 was weak. Yeah, and he was probably getting, that's what he's worried about. He's probably trying to calculate, can he take the queen? I don't think he can. So knight at g3 takes, knight takes, king h2, knight takes rook. Yeah, so this is a big problem. So that, and now he can't take this queen either because g2 becomes weak. Okay, are there back rank issues? Yeah, there's only, oh, queen takes, oh yes. King here and rook at h1 is checkmate at the end. So white resigns. So JannLee takes the first game. Just make sure I am recording. Yes, just hopefully everything's coming out smoothly on the recording. I can't check that, but that's the advantage of streaming. Is if anything's going wrong, someone watching can tell you. You can get some feedback. So this one. So he's harassing that knight. So it's the beginning of an attack on the light squares. So this is really just to defend this outpost. Okay, so this was just to create interference. So So white's kind of cleared out this outpost. Okay, so white seems to be doing quite nicely. Let's see. Oh, white just hung a piece. That's bad. Just get this out of the way. Yeah. Yeah, so the problem is e2 is weak. So where to put the queen? Or can you counterattack somehow? It's quite hard. So yeah, e2. Oh, knight takes queen. Oh, and knight at g3 mate. Whoa! What a sneaky mate that JannLee found there. Okay, that was queen takes h2, queen takes h7, knight takes h7, knight at g6, checkmate. So JannLee takes a 2-love lead. We're seeing this opening repeated, which is interesting because white is like has lost his queen for a rook, so it's somewhat dubious. Is it dubious? Having said that, his king has got some good safety. I'm not sure what theory would say. So apparently Jasugi missed mate in the last game. What was the mate, Jasugi? Well, he missed the mate that JannLee found. Did he miss a mate himself? I'm not sure. Okay, black has got a lot of material. Okay, so he's trying to defend these sensitive squares. So what's interesting about this position is both sides have actually achieved quite some safety. And now white's got some initiative. He wants to target f7. Ooh, very sneaky. Because if you take it, obviously queen at h7, you have to... So there's some big problems here. Like rook at g8 is a threat. Now queen at h7 is a threat. Kind of hard to defend, and you want to sort of counterattack somehow. Knight takes queen, but desperate for a counterattack. And I think white's going to have enough to mate now. Well, takes, and then a queen check and a pawn on it. f7 is probably enough. So Jasugi gets on the board, or 12 team gets on the board. And again, we have a repetition of this opening as black. So if one side has an advantage in the opening, it actually plays it's actually quite a big advantage in 1+0 because there's not the time to really think what's going wrong. Oh, that was quite sneaky. So if queen takes bishop, what was the idea? Knight takes? I mean, there's just knight takes, but the idea is just pawn here if knight takes. So you can't go back because of knight and pawn mates. He has to come up. And if he comes up here, and he resigns because he has to come here or here, and then knight here maybe. Oh, I didn't see the full mate. So just opening it up. Okay, so king g3, knight h, king g3, knight h5. Oh, I see. Knight h, yeah, knight h5 is just checkmates straight away. There's nowhere for that king to go. Knight h5, king h3, and pawn and g4 is mate. Okay, so back to the current game. So seeing again this knight on g5 from Jasugi, which is unusual because we're more used to seeing that bishop on g5 and then a knight coming in to d5 to exploit a pin and so on. Okay, so lots of pressure on f7 and h7 in this position. So this looks quite scary for black. What can he do? the question is, can you just take the knight on h6 or not? Probably not, but... Oh, no, that doesn't work because bishop takes. I was thinking of discoveries, but okay, so knight takes bishop, no. There's a queen hanging. No. Yeah, that doesn't work, but oh, it does work. Bishop takes knight, queen takes queen, okay. You can't go pawn takes because of discovered double check, which is really quite nasty. And probably mating, although I can't see it right the way to the end. So white's got a big attack, but whoa. Only 8 seconds left. Okay, so time is running down. I don't think, yeah. Oh, Black should be doing well here. He's only got 4 seconds though. Oh, that's painful. It's only 1 second and resigns. Yeah. So if anyone wants to join me in the chat, please do. I'd appreciate it. Takes f7 is tempting, but okay, he goes for this. Oh, nice one. Attack and counterattack. If an attack can't be defended, the point is if the knight moves, this pawn was falling earlier. So if an attack can't be defended, you have to counterattack. Yeah. Crazyhouse says JL is going ultra safe. Yeah, that's not a wise idea. So Jasugi99 has won 3 in a row, leading 3-2. Yeah, I'd say that's, if anything is Jan's weakness, it's playing too safe sometimes. Okay, so Black just wants a pawn for g2, very simple. And now what's his plan? His plan is to take on f3 next. Or if you take the rook, you've got back rank ideas. So taking on f3 is coming next. Oh. And he did something different. Okay, so the threat is this. Okay, attacking on g7. That's uncomfortable. White having to waste a piece on the back rank. The thing is, the threat is bishop takes knight and knight here checkmate, so it's not so easy. Wow, and pawn here is to finish. Pawn at h7 to finish. Really beautiful mating from JannLee. So we've seen that in all the games JannLee's won. Very good mating. So let's see. So a slight shift in the opening. Playing d4 instead of knight g5. And black castles, white doesn't, and white's going straight in for the at h3. You always want to try and attack h3, h6, at h6, g7. So he's defending this and this, and he takes the attacking piece. Just trying to clear. JannLee's trying to clear out the attackers. So he wants bishop takes h3 next. Okay, he's going to lose a piece, but he's just going to have pawn at g7 and say, okay, I've lost a piece, but I'm safe. Okay, so if you take, there's a big exchange of queens, and the king is left on d2 at the end of it. It might still be safe, actually, but he doesn't want to risk it. So he goes, so Jasugi goes this way instead, wins a free pawn. You could just go at g7 and be ultra safe, or you could go on an attack. JannLee goes the safety route, which I'm not sure if it was correct. He could have actually begun an attack straight away with at h3, but maybe there was a threat that he had to be careful of, like simply at g7, for example. Yeah, of course the king is taking this bishop, fork. Queen, the knight's hanging. Is there? Oh, I see. The bishop was also hanging. I need to turn the brightness up on my screen so I stop missing things. Okay. So, check. Why can't we take this? I think Jasugi99 is going for the flag. which is not advisable. He really is just going for the flag here. It's not, oh, what? Oh my goodness, I missed that. Oh, what a beautiful mate. This G6 was weak, and it looked like he was just going for the flag and sacking all, but he had other ideas. Wow, okay. So we're going to see this line again. Takes. So at the end of it, white to play. Okay, he's going to hit C6 and F7. And black in turn hits G2, so white defends with a developing move. Very good. Of course, queen's in the center of the board means it's liable to be hit. So unless it wants to sacrifice itself, the wise thing to do is just to get that out the way. So he's getting out the way with an attack. So if you attack it again, well, this is inviting at here maybe, but okay, let's see. Okay, so rook for knight and pawn. I think black would be happy with this. Oh, he wants to give away the queen. Okay, so I guess because if you give away the queen is a great defender in this position, is the reasoning. Certainly brave. I mean, you could taking queen back on c7. What's wrong? Okay, I did not follow that. So why did JannLee win that one again? Because, okay, queen takes queen. Ah, so I can see the comments on Discord, but I just hadn't been looking previously. But comments on Lichess is cool because then everyone can see them. Yeah, sorry, I didn't realize you were commenting on Discord until just now. Okay, so what's happening this game? Looks like white is crushing. So it's 4 games all is the overall score. We've still got a long way to go. 102 games to go. Crazyhouse says maybe we should listen to the JannLee stream. It's always confusing whether to watch here or the stream. Ah, see, I'm not sure. I didn't know if JannLee was giving commentary. Ah, so Mugwort is streaming with commentary. That's good. That's what I thought. And if anyone wants to help me out with commentary here, I'm very happy to. Okay, so let's try and tune back in. Okay, back rank issues is the problem here. So if you can just get the black king to the back rank and then put a rook on e8. Okay, rook on g8 in that case. Yeah, so you always have a look. I'd say the most basic mating technique in chess is the back rank, and actually I have a blog on back rank mates on my Crazyhouse blog, so check it out. Okay, so Jasugi99 has taken a 5-4 lead, and again, as black, he's got quite a lot of initiative in this one as well. Nice defending with the bishop, defending the knight, because it was a fork of the king and the knight. But so again, it's attack, counter-attack. Very nice. Okay, this is a problem though. F2 is a problem. So he just avoids and just says, okay, G2 is protected, so I don't have an issue. If white's going to get anywhere in this, he probably has to. Yeah, he has to clear out that bishop, and that's going to be hard. But white's got quite good control on the light squares, and his king is on a light square. Doesn't want to ever lose a rook, though, because the rook would go on the back rank and pick up his queen. That's a slight dilemma. And also at g2 is a problem. If like knight takes bishop, at g2 check. And then there's an exchange of queens. Big problem. So the queen is going to try and stay on the g file if it can. Oh yeah, black going for that rook. That's going to hurt. G1's a mate threat, so he needs to find a mate. Rook takes bishop, and try and use the bishop to mate. Now maybe white can find mate here. So he picks up another bishop with check. Does white have enough for mate? He's got another bishop here. And so those two bishops are actually cutting off the king quite nicely. Pawn here, you can potentially pick up a knight with check. Yeah, picking up a knight potentially with check. Is this enough though? Okay, no, that doesn't do anything because you just push. Takes, takes. And now with the pawn it's mate. Yes, pawn here mate. Yeah, not where I said. In fact, both were mate. So yeah, really nice game from JannLee. I'm not going to start games for now, but that was very, very impressive, just with all his minors. Was there some cunning way of running the king to stay safe? Quite possibly, but in 1+0 is really hard to find. Okay, so now we're back to more standard stuff with the bishop on g5. And we saw h6, so forcing the trade before the knight could come in and put pressure on that pin. So, but black is still under quite a lot of heat in this position. I'd say on 1+0, you have to be especially wary of holes in your position. So g7 is the square which is most sensitive, or f6, I would say now. Probably f6. Oh, has he got enough? JannLee has enough. He has enough for a mate here. He does. With a bishop, I think. Yeah. No. Whoa. Surely this bishop was mating. Oh no, I see. He wanted to keep the bishop. I see, so he had this run back down. Okay, I understand. So it wasn't so clear, but now queen here, king comes up here. You have to stop the king hiding away on b1. Oh, he's confident. Okay. He was confident he didn't need. Oh, the bishop's covering. Still not so clear. Oh, no. Hang on. Whoa. I don't get it. Surely this is not good. He just takes it. Oh, what's the issue? JannLee thinking. Oh, he loses the rook with check. That is a problem. Takes time. Ah. Okay, that was quite scary. I'm not sure. Was there anything he could have done? Oppa says knight at g6, mate after king h8. So after king h8, knight at g6. Yeah, I'm feeling I'm not strong enough to do this commentary. And Crazyhouse says some hypnosis is involved. Yes, you have to believe. Say some people believe in this sort of other factors. So queen takes knight is coming, or is he going for something more? So white just going for material, which seems interesting. The queen, though, just can't really do much. The rook here is forced. Because the problem is h2 is kind of hard to do. h2. Oh, that allows this. Maybe that's not so good. He got tricked. I'd have got tricked too. Oh, but this is interesting. With the rook. Rook cuts off the king. Somehow white's sort of safe but completely losing. But also the time is just an issue here. So there's nothing to do with the time involved. Yeah, and JannLee flags. Okay, so that takes the the match to 6 games all. And we're getting the same opening, e4, e5 with bishop c4, bishop c5. JannLee likes often to start series with theory. But now white is going for an early h3, sort of opera style. And JannLee is stopping the knight from coming in to d5 with this move, trying to control the center. Okay, so sacking the queen. What's the idea of that? Oh, very dangerous. You can't. If you took here, knight at f6, pawn at g7 would be mating. Even this does. So, okay, this is just maybe just rook g8. No, oh, that, oops, and f7 falls. So maybe. Black resigns, just doesn't have enough material, I guess. Because bishop g7, knight takes g7, not enough material. Okay, so we see a switch up in. So it's a kind of a French defense. Black wants a pawn for h3, and he doesn't have anything in hand, so it's a very cagey kind of affair. So he's just trying to get his own h pawn rolling, but this pawn is actually hanging. So white's doing okay, I think. So the pressure is on this. So do you take this knight or not? If you don't take it, it comes out again, that's the problem, and creates all kinds of threats. So black is picking up 2 knights, and there is knight here check, knight takes bishop, so it's really offering. Oh, coming forward is. I see he couldn't come back, but I thought Jasugi was a pawn short of mate because he had bishop. Did he have a pawn? If the king had run back, but maybe it was too dangerous to run back. Katask also says king g2 is possible, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. And Oppa says he had knight takes f3, g4, and g5 mate. Knight takes f3 ideas. Yeah. But yeah, if Opera and Mixu want to join, or yeah, if you want to actually join the chat, please do. So I'm just laughing at the Lee Chess comments. Yeah, this. Okay, so I'm kind of slightly lost concentration in this game. So he doesn't take the queen because it doesn't come with check, so he's clearly afraid that knight here check and rook at h8 is checkmate, right? So he'll be losing the queen, so this is very bad. Okay, so oh, rook takes knight. Just simply, yeah, rook takes knight, rook takes f1 is mate. So a beautiful mate there found by JannLee. Oh, really pretty, with the knight on g3, covering a lot of squares, covering f1, covering e2. Very pretty. Says, yeah, Jan is getting very old. It's the irony. No, Jan is eternal youth. Okay. But obviously 12-teen is a massive favourite for this series. Just because he not because necessarily he's always the better player, it's just because, okay, he maybe has a slight edge in bullet rather than slower time controls, but also because he's been playing a lot more. But this particular game, White's had to give up the queen, so Black's got a really good material edge here. Oh, what does he? Let's see. F suddenly, White has a really nice counterattack. But okay, queen at h1 is the threat. This looks like it's going to be rough. Okay, so you can't take with the h pawn. This is really clear because of queen at h1. You can't not do anything because otherwise you really. This is the problem. No back rank protection from White. Notice the rook has not gone into back rank. White just needs a pawn for f2 and then he's mating with the queen on the back rank. So he's just going to try and see how can I get a pawn without getting mated myself. But maybe he's thinking going queen here, knight here, but the problem is he can block here and that gives the king some luft. So not entirely clear. Okay, so he goes and picks up the pawn, that also gives his king some safety. But he's lost. Yeah, I think he should have done that first, maybe. But anyway, we'll see. Queen takes rook. Takes, takes. This is going to get takes, takes. But now what does White have? Oof. It's just a flagging game now. Oh, and JannLee gets mated. Okay, e4, e5, and we see this opening again. Maybe players feel it's a 110 game match, so they can play the same opening for longer. We're seeing this exactly the same opening here in game 17 as we did in game 1, except the difference is White didn't play bishop at h5, which is surprising, picking up the free knight. Instead going for some kind of back rank, but then the king still has king e7. So what is the idea? I think White wants a knight, and why does White want a knight? I guess he wants a knight to control e7, so knight at d5 or something. Okay, so White does have the knight he wants, so this diagonal straight into your king side is going to be dangerous, because if it's not challenged. Now having said that, Black's got some very fast ideas with rook at h1. Very fast ideas. So bishop at h3 is absolutely essential. So if ever bishop takes g2, bishop takes, and you're secure. And there could even be queen sacks here. Takes, 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 bishop here, and then a rook on g2, for example. Okay, I think he's going to go for it. Like, why wouldn't he? Bishop takes pawn, bishop takes, queen takes bishop. He doesn't go queen takes bishop. Oh. There's something. Wait. Okay, he's going for the flag. So JannLee is completely winning this. The question is, can he find the mate? And he does. So he found a back rank mate with rook at g1. Okay, so now notice in this position, this pawn on c6, just structurally speaking, that pawn is actually defending the light squares on the queen side. But you have to be careful about b7. If the bishop ever moves along this diagonal, pawn at b7 is sometimes an issue, as we saw in an earlier game. But what I mean about this pawn being what I meant about that pawn, yeah, we've moved way beyond the opening. I was making a comment about something a lot earlier. So black is attacking the king side. G2 just wants stuff to put on G2, like at G2, rook H1, or at G2, and something. How does white defend? He's going to have to put something on G3. The thing is, he could go just queen. Maybe he can't, because he couldn't because queen here was a mate threat. Okay, so black is queen hunting for queen at G2 checkmate. That's what he wants. Just knight back. What is the idea? I'm very confused. Oh, he's got his queen though, so that's concerning. Now he just needs a pawn for G2. Okay, for queen takes bishop, has he got himself mated? That's the only question. Knight takes bishop was a possibility, and bishop at D6. I think that was a huge miss. That was really awkward. But okay, maybe he has other ideas. He doesn't. He's flagging, and don't know. He's going to get mated, I think. There's a back rank issue. He has nothing to protect the back rank. Okay, so we've seen a real mix-up now from JannLee. The first sign of tilt, one might say. No, I'm just joking. So chasing the bishop back with h6, g5. Yeah, so this is a warning, because Jasugi is two games ahead, 10-8. Yeah, someone's noticing that actually the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games have gone with black. Okay, so back to the current game. Times are level. Black is looking quite solid, except you don't want to ever lose a queen. So h7 is always a sort of dangerous idea. A pawn at h7 or queen at h7. So what I meant by black, I mean black is solid, but looks like he's down. He has a lot of material in hand that he needs to quickly get onto the board with those 3 knights. Quite hard to see what to do as black. Okay, so that was quite a sneaky move. Quite good way of trying to get some initiative. He had no pawn for f3, so he ends up... Oh, just avoid that at all costs. Oh, okay. You're a braver man than me if you're going to take that. And I think he's going to get mated by pawns on g7, h7. Okay, so we see bishop e7 lines. Okay, we're gunning. Black is gunning for g2, and white kind of allows it. So let's see what. I see. Queen takes. Okay, so black is in a bit of trouble. Yeah, the point is the bishop can't take the knight because the queen is coming here, checkmate. So what's the idea here? If king takes... Okay, we're going to see what happens if king takes bishop. Bishop takes pawn, king takes... Now what? We have a queen in hand. Queen here isn't mate because the knight covers. Queen here, however, is almost mate. My goodness, it's not quite mate because the king can... Okay, I didn't quite finish that line of thought. The king can go to e8, and then you have queen takes rook. Oh yeah, queen takes rook, king takes is forced, and then rook at c8 is checkmate. Okay, so we're back to this. Okay. But a slight variation from the first few games. So this looks actually more equal in a way. White doesn't seem to have an opening advantage. Knight. The problem, no, you've always got to be careful with queen at g6 because knight at e7 is a threat. So actually this is very uncomfortable. And usually black really wants a pawn on e2 rather than a knight on e2. So that's already a concession, putting a knight on e2. So he's going to have to probably just back off. But what next? I mean, those bishops are really good. Yeah, knight takes because otherwise this knight would be hanging. Now, this is all about f3, I think. But okay, he wants the queen, but it's all about f. Okay, what's going on here? He's losing the bishop. Is that a problem? I don't see a problem. Like, he wants queen takes g7, but does he have it? Oh, this looks... He still has queen takes g7. And it's very... Yeah, he's got mate. King up. And I don't know if he had a bishop or pawn in hand, but yeah, it was mating. Okay, so we see for the first time e4, d5. No, is it for the? No, it's not for the first time. It's for the umpteenth time. E4, d5. This line, bishop. Okay, but he doesn't go for bishop. He doesn't go for this whole line. Oh, he does go for it. Okay, so we see the whole rook here. Takes knight, takes bishop. Okay. So attacking c6 and oh, I see. So okay. So the bishop could be taken. Okay, black does have an active rook, oh, but it's going to be swapped off for... Oh, I see, he wants counterattack. Take the rook and I take on f2 is what he says. That does look risky. Especially if you take it, my goodness. This knight's coming in. Okay, the thing is white has a rook for the back rank at some point. This is also... So I think black has to be careful. Oof. King comes up. Okay, so you're saying you can take. Okay, that bishop is a nice check, but it's maybe having ideas defending the king as well. So does white have anything here? Just with pawns. If you go here, there's pawn here. But is that anything? There's also pawn here. He needs two pawns. He's like a pawn short. You want pawn here and here. So he puts the first pawn down. He wants another pawn. Yeah, I wonder if putting a pawn on g2 first was better. But he just ran out of time looking for the mate. And I'm guessing, yeah, maybe the position was worse as well. I'm not sure. So Barry Boswick, I see in the chat. So we know the famous Barry Boswick who watches all the games on Lichess for many years. Okay, so maybe the queen to e8 just to try and help guard the king a bit. So f7 and to keep f7 and c6 are the two squares. It's keeping an eye on. White's got a very nice position with this very central knight, really good control of the center. So a real problem for black how to fight back in this position. So g6 is going to be weak if potentially. So yeah, black's got some real light square weaknesses, and white is exploiting the light square weaknesses as we see here. With this fork, can't really take it, but it does take it. If you take it, it's just helping white. Okay, again, just trying to cover these light squares. Nice h4. Um, somehow, so the queen sack was presumably so the king was still safe on h8. So what's very interesting here is that pawn on g6 is actually keeping the black king safe, paradoxically, as long as the knight covers h7, because you can't get a knight on g6 if that pawn's on g6. So it's kind of strange, but actually somehow this is amazing. He's doing wonderfully here. The point is, if you take this bishop, this is going to be mating. If king takes queen here, it's checkmate. You have to run away, and if you run away, I don't think that's promising. This is blocking off the king's escape here. Queen is going to come in here. It's just getting mated, but I can't see the full mate, so I don't have the speed of these guys. But let's see. There was also a double check, but yeah. So queen there check, king e1, and then I can't see the rest. Oh yeah, just queen takes bishop checkmate. Yeah, very beautiful, 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 amazing. Oh no, hang on, that's not right. Yeah, that is right. Yeah, sorry, that's all it was. Okay, sorry. So back to this game. And the point is, if white had blocked closer to the king, then it would have been same mate, in fact. So yeah, JannLee, a very important couple of games from JannLee to claw it back to 11-12, because Jasugi99, aka 12 Teen, was just actually starting to assert himself in the match at that point. We see again in this game. No, he's maintaining position. He wants to maintain this g4 position, and white is white's pushing him back, building a fortress around his king. It's this little house around his king, and this is really So it's very well played from, very nicely played from JannLee. Just building this fortress. F7 really well guarded, by the way, but. So I mean, I say JannLee's really in his comfort zone here in this game, I'd say. But whoa, what's this move? Oh, I see. He wants rook takes, rook queen takes. Was there any defense? So I didn't. The nice third game in a row. So what's the idea here? I can't remember what he had in hand, but if rook takes, rook queen takes, that clears away the back rank, and rook at g8 is mating, because then you get a knight in hand for f7. Then what if he didn't take? What if he just blocked? Then you just pick up a free rook, potentially. And I think it's the same idea. You pick up a rook, and then you dump that rook on g8. I think that was the problem. Okay, so back to the current game. You dump a rook on g8. The point is you take g8, takes back, but you've taken with the knight, and then that knight lands on f7 with a smothered mate. That's the real problem. So I just saw the chat, the comment from the finisher, where he said bless you, because I was sneezing earlier. Yeah, this is going to go on for 3 hours, so there might be more sneezes. I don't have a cold, it's just, I don't know. Maybe I came in from the cold. So bishop takes g7 is just obviously the best move in the position, but okay, he goes for this, which is interesting. Pawn takes knight is very tempting. Pawn takes knight, and okay, but he goes for this instead. Interesting. So he wants a knight. Okay, he doesn't want a knight on g6. Maybe he does eventually, but not yet. Yeah, this is going interestingly fast. Knight on g6 is a huge threat. He defends, takes, throws in a check, trying to defend like crazy. Goes for the back rank. Oh, this is dangerous. This is dangerous. He yeah, I think that was the fourth win in a row from JannLee. Wow. Okay, so what was the finish? So obviously, if I can't see it fast enough, but there was a mate there from JannLee. I think there was a mate coming from JannLee. I think it was very nice. He just exposed the back rank and he just took advantage. Such a basic theme in Crazyhouse, the back rank theme. And do check out my blogspot, zhchess.blogspot.com, for a nice blog about the back rank mate. Ooh, takes. Okay, what is going on here? Black doesn't have a knight. And anyway, there are no knight. Okay, he does have a knight now, but there are no obvious knight checks. And white's got all the material in the world to do something, even though his king is not entirely safe. So I think white's got to be the favourite here to do something powerful. But what? Oh, yeah, you've got to be careful. This is just, you just takes. That's surely not good. Yeah, the bishop's covering everything. The knight's covering this square. So you always have to check, are there checks on my king? White, notice, has two queens in hand. This is just, this can't be good. Even something like this pawn here, this pawn at d6 should be, just take it. Oh, why is he allowing it? Okay, he's just going to just avoid it and say, I've got material advantage, I'm going to flag you. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so now we see d4, d5. I'm not sure if we had that earlier, but it's the first time I've really noticed it in the whole match. And in fact, 5 in a row from JannLee. So this is really important in 1-0. If you can get a streak going, it counts for a lot. And JannLee, okay, so how is JannLee playing this? He's doubling up bishops on a closed diagonal, which might seem paradoxical. But look, this diagonal's just opened up. So it's not so stupid. Bishop's taking on c2. White king is not looking so smart. There's no. What's the idea here? Takes. This just takes here. So this looks kind of crushing for black. I mean, his king is safe, and he's coming on an h3. Oh, come on, nice h3. Like, what have you got here? It's like white's only hope is the flag, actually, in this position. That's something actually you have to be careful of. But actually white's losing on time as well. So, what? Oh, I see. If takes queen h2, something at, yeah, rook at h2 checkmate. Very sneaky. So what's the idea here? Just trying to pick up a knight. So if he picks up a knight, he picks up a rook. I mean, this is basically white getting crushed, but and losing on the clock. But yeah, literally the only way you can win this is basically on time, and it's hard because he's got 6 seconds against 17. Well, he bravely fought on until really all hope was gone, and that's 6 in a row for JannLee. Got to keep up the pressure though, while he has his teeth in. I mean, this is a crucial in a match situation to make it count. And so we get this line again, which is reasonably good. For white, we saw apparently there was, I think Crazyhouse was saying earlier, there were c5 ideas. Okay, yeah, black is trying to pick up a rook. It's quite nasty. I'm guessing pawn at c7, just ignore it and just come in. But let's see, is that going to be strong enough? He does go for it. Queen, yeah, the queen just avoids. He's attacking the queen again. I think that's dangerous. So knight takes queen, knight takes queen. The knight is actually protecting. Oh my gosh, I did not notice that! Amazing! Amazing! Because if rook takes rook, knight takes h7 smothered, mate. Oh, oh my goodness. I was all looking at the queen and saying, you know, knight takes queen, the king is so safe. I didn't notice. Rook at g8, rook takes rook, knight takes h7, checkmate. Wow. Okay. So we've seen this line in another game earlier. And white seems to be doing fine. But oh my goodness, black is so safe and suddenly it's not so fine. Yeah, so what is going on here? Queen, well, yeah, the point is queen takes at g3 is something at g3 and bishop knight there, knight takes rook. Okay, so he's just going to go with, oh, wow, wow, he's winning the queen. Oh my, he doesn't even need to take, the queen. Oh, knight takes rook. I mean, this is just punishing. Okay, pawn takes pawn, queen takes pawn. Really brilliant, just attacking on the dark squares. How can you defend? Takes queen on at e1, keeps the king. So you've got queen and rook. If you run back here, you just have queen there, rook there. You've got no hope if you run back. But now here you've got queen, the other queen comes in. Yeah, it's checkmate. Queen and rook mate. That was stunning. This is stunning from JannLee. 8 games in a row. Wow. So it's time to pull out the opening novelties, Jasugi. It's time to come out with Katask Secret Prep. Okay. H3, H6 takes queen takes. Okay, so black king is relatively safe. I was wondering why not bishop takes, because f6 is well guarded already, but queen takes is clearly safe. Any slight issues, h6. So if the advantage of bishop on f8, I think, in this position is you can then sack on h6. So h6 is actually slightly vulnerable here. Something to be, I would be slightly worried about. But okay, it's defended for now, and that's all that matters. And actually, black is threatening knight takes bishop, even black rank ideas. What are people saying? Yeah, white. There could be back rank issues for white though. So just have a little think. Except white doesn't have. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is like you need to think. Takes queen. If this can't work, can it work? Pawn takes queen, bishop takes. So you don't want that. What? Oh, yes, you couldn't do king takes rook because of pawn here. Okay, that makes sense. Rook takes queen, back rank. Bishop takes bishop, rook takes, so he's protected. What can he do? Knight here. No, that knight protects. What has he got? Knight takes. No! What? But he just, what? He had knight e2, rook g1, no? Bishop takes, queen takes, king here. He's got mate, yes. But I'm sure he missed knight. I'm sure JannLee hung mate in 2 last game, but maybe someone in chat can confirm. So 6-game lead from JannLee, and I don't see him winning this one, but we'll see. It's been 9 games in a row, so this is the coat adoption game. You don't want to hang queen takes h2 checkmate. He doesn't. Black's got quite a lot of material, but what does he do with it? So there's a threat of just simply knight takes h. No, okay, not anymore. Knight takes h2, bishop takes, and queen, sack the queen and come in with mate. Okay, this is This is surely getting mated. This other knight's coming in, so the king can't run back. It has to run forwards. Oh my god. This is brutal. Pestine said, yep, that was a mate in two, so I wasn't imagining it in that game that he missed. Brutal. So Oppa has adopted 12-teen in the past, although 12-teen did fight back with a counter-adoption the next day. But yeah, there are not many players who can do that to 12-teen. Okay, very uncomfortable. This is really uncomfortable for white. The reason queen didn't go to d1 is because then there was at c2. And Oppa's has adopted both 12-teen and JannLee, I think, but also has been adopted at times by both. But yeah, so okay, I think 12-teen is going to win this one though. I would think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Apart from this, it was a close match until this. In fact, he was even 12-9 down until this sequence. Okay, so Jan was doing 12-teen was doing really well actually this game until somehow Jan managed to pick off that h3 pawn and cover his back rank. And well, e2 is the point. If black can get pawns and just come in on e2, things could get nasty again. So yeah, so what is the situation here? The problem is at f6, but takes, king takes here. Yeah. Oh, it loses the queen though. And actually, yeah, actually black is safe. Black is safe, but doesn't have material. It just has to go. No time. 2 seconds to try and find a mate, and there is nothing. Absolutely nothing. And Jasugi99 takes that game. But that was actually an interesting game because it looked like Jasugi99 was completely winning. JannLee had actually fought back and maybe even got a better position. But time was yeah. And Oppa says, giving Jasugi such a fight, amazing. I believe in a comeback for 12-teen, but this is an amazing fight so far. Yeah, so Oppa's pretty glad he can watch this because he's on holiday and he's on hotel internet. Oh, this is painful. Oh, is there anything nasty? Is there some sneaky trick with that knight? Takes bishop, takes, okay, defends. But is there something here? Is there some mate? I mean, Jan is just being very simple. I want queen takes g2 mate. He's not going for anything fancy at all. And apparently 12-teen says I can't defend that. Okay, so this is interesting. We saw this line several times. So white is just exposing this c7 square. That's why if you play Crazyhouse, you shouldn't play Sicilian, because that c7 square is often weak, and that's just even giving up a pawn to create this weakness on c7 and then coming in taking the rook. But okay, black's got his own counter ideas and finally goes for this knight takes g2. And he must think, he must have not done that in the other games because he thought the white king is actually fairly safe on d1. So we'll see. He's going for a different approach this game. Takes. Okay, this looks dangerous, to be frank. The king goes back, bishop f3, pick up rook. Oh, you can't pick up rook because you're losing your queen, but still, it's just looks a little... Yeah, this looks really dangerous. You've got to go this way. If you go this way, pawn and queen. Oh, I can't believe he's doing it this way. This can't be good. Queen takes knight? No. Queen takes knight because the problem is you lose it. You lose the queen with check, so it's a problem. Knight takes knight, you lose your queen with check. That's a problem. Maybe Maybe that's just the idea. Just win a knight and put the knight here or here. If he ever gets a knight, this is the problem. Oh, now this is going to be tough. Yeah. Oh. 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 Okay, so a checkmate win from Jasugi99. So I'd say the streak has properly been broken. And so just to recap the score, so 2014 to JannLee. So despite the 10-0 streak, it's just a 6-game deficit. But this is a sort of position which, so Jasugi is plugging on with d4, d5, but we saw that JannLee's been playing this position very well as black and really making inroads. So it's all about attacking the king. The queen is a bit exposed here on f5, so I'm not so confident. Unless it's got somewhere to go to next, it just could allow white to just put on pieces with tempo attacking it. And so while I looked away, it looks like 12-teen sacked that queen while I wasn't paying attention. He wants takes. Yeah, okay, so takes. He doesn't have queen g2 because the rook still defends. Okay, so he wants knight takes pawn. What's the idea? That king is still safe. Takes. Oh, you're just hanging material. This can't be good. Oh, I see. Just coming in here. This is. Oof. I'm not sure. What's the idea? You've only got queen takes knight. Then what? Oh, you have another rook in hand. Time is the only issue actually for Jan here. Oh, he's picking up a queen. Oof. So this is just flag. Okay. Is there a flag or is there a mate? Oh, there's a mate. There's a sneaky mate. He was low on time, and Jasugi99 punished him. So some people are commenting about when this match is being played. Okay, so it's being played 11 p.m. at night. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. But I'm not sure it's good though. It's being played 11 p.m. at night for JannLee, so he will get tired as the match goes on because it will be, 3 a.m. 2 a.m. in the morning by the time it finishes, and he's presumably been working all day. And for 12-teen, it's 4 a.m. in the morning at the start of the match, so probably he's just woken up after not having slept that much. He might maybe be a bit more awake at the end of the match, potentially, but only if you can get some energy, get some. If things start going well for him, I think he'll get the energy going. So I don't think tiredness is actually going to be an issue for either player, but who knows? I mean, I think I think tiredness might more be an issue just because of the length of the match, rather than because of the time the match is being played. I mean, 3-hour match is quite a grueling encounter, and yes, that will. So the threat was bishop g4 winning the queen. So white had to defend that, but white is in this position just continually struggling to just defend h3. h3 is basically you can't defend h3. It's just attacked so many times. Having said that, it seems like he has managed to secure up everything. And it's just flagging. He's down to 3 seconds. So he's getting flagged here. Unless he can pawn his knight, rook takes bishop, check. Has he got a mate? He just has to play instant is the problem. He's got 0 seconds and he gets mated. He might have had something, but... Ooh. Okay, so JannLee's problem is he was getting flagged a lot. And a bit of pre-move nonsense between both of them. Like, I think white was expecting bishop takes and so went pawn at d5 and so on. So this is a little bit of tilt from both players almost, it seems, this particular game. Legion Destroyer says, not having a child is one of the most ecological tasks there is. Well, I'm not sure about the word task, but yeah. Okay, so the problem here, yeah, that pawn was a real thorn in black's position, so you can be very relieved to have got rid of it. Black really wants to take this. Okay, he wants a queen trade, and can he afford a queen trade? I think he's okay. The tempting thing is, can you just go queen takes rook? That's the question. But he looks like he's just going for this. And even just this. Okay, so at the end of all that, black has more time and a better position by the looks of it. Going for g2. It's tempting just to take it, but don't, because then you lose your queen. Okay, defense g2. Okay, it's very tempting to just put a pawn on d4, pick off one of those things. Yeah, if the queen has somewhere to go to. Ooh, 2 knights for the queen. Okay, I think black's material advantage is going to pay dividends. He's just going for a mate. He's going for the mate. Is there a mate? There is a mate. The knight cube, the 2 knights, 3 apart like that. It's a power pose. You control a lot of squares. We see this opening repeated. I don't play this myself. It's almost second pawn. Well, takes g2 seems inevitable, but apparently not. We're going to go at e3 first to block off the file. And takes g2 now. This may be a queen trade. And actually this is a problem. At f2 is a big threat. But does white have anything first? Really curious position. Just go right to the beginning. I mean, in this position, I would normally just take this pawn. So this at e6 move is very interesting. So doing this, which we've seen the whole game. So we had the queen trade. We have okay. So defense. Could just no, you can't take it. The bishop defends h3. Takes. This is bad. Yes, he has 2 queens. This is all over. Queen at f2, queen takes g2, checkmate. 29 spectators in Lichess chat, and yeah, Jasugi99 is starting to fight back now. He's won 4 of the last 5 games. Quite a good response after losing 10 in a row. Yeah. So that's tempting, trying to go queen at e8 checkmate, but the problem is just knight f6 would probably be fine. So we're going to get a pawn storm from white, and actually the idea is just to pick off this. So normally in that kind of situation you might attack this knight, so after this you have this. But instead, yeah, he goes for something else. So white has the extra queen in this position. I forgot exactly how that happened. This is looking uncomfortable for black, to be honest. But no obvious... Oof, that was bad. He needed to defend f6, so that was clear. The point is obviously queen takes f6, queen takes rook. No way of defending. Okay, so we see this line again. e6, bishop b5, takes. Dropping back, takes. But he's not going for bishop at b7 these last few games, just going for just developing. And he's going for this. And then he's not even taking this pawn. So the pawn just gets away, but now this square is weak. d3 is weak, potentially. Pawn takes, bishop takes? No. Takes. Okay, so is he going to do anything with the d3 square? Because if you get a pawn on d3, or something on d3, that actually stops the bishop ever getting out. But he didn't do that in time. and so now white is actually got some nice development. You can develop this, for example, and hit that knight, or yeah, what you did, just put something like a thorn in black's position, which means if he ever wins a rook at h8 is checkmate. That's this sort of thing is annoying. He's winning a bishop. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, bishop here. Oh, he missed bishop here. Okay, I think it's the same. He's ouch. Cause okay, so JannLee is winning far too much material. If king takes, bishop takes, rook came with check. If rook takes, I still think there must have been some mate, which went too fast for me to see exactly what. But yeah. The reason I was saying bishop out is because then you win the rook, and I was thinking rook at h8 mate, but he got something similar. Okay, so this game, it's another d4, d5. Jan with his knights. He just took on g2. That's sort of interesting. So Jan actually quite safe in a way. h3 is going to be a problem at some stage. You know, h3, g4. Like, these light squares are just too weak. This is, I mean, this position is really dreadful. For 1+0 especially, it's just always going to be struggling. Takes, you know, now got a pawn on f3, g2 is a problem, just dump another pawn on g2 is even a problem. Okay, so just picks up the queen for a rook. He's got a 20-second time advantage, and the position, just queen at d1, for example, even just, okay, he goes for this because he wants to promote something, maybe. Okay, oh, he had another very sneaky idea. So he's just having fun here, basically, like anything works. King takes pawn, queen at f2, or rook to f2, okay, rook takes rook, knight takes, rook here, takes. It's 27 seconds against 6 seconds, so he's kept his 20-second advantage. He wants queen takes knight, obviously. Quite good defense. But JannLee is just having fun here, basically. Okay, bishop or something. Okay, 1 second against 10 seconds. Okay, let me say this is really important. This game is really important. Jasugi99 lost that game, but he was like 20 seconds down and like ended the game. Like, JannLee just won this game. That is a real, like, that game is like a warning sign that Jasugi is back in business. So I'm saying if I were JannLee right now, I'd say I'd say you have to really watch out this game, because Jasugi, he lost that game, but he is actually threatening a streak. Like, the coming back from such an awful position and 20 seconds down, and like even, you know, bringing it down to a 10-second flagging race. He's really in business here in terms of he's really focusing. And having said that, he's down 15 seconds here in this position, and his position isn't so great with bishop at b7 being a threat. So actually, I mean, I said that, but I'm actually kind of, I'm kind of favouring Jan in this position, actually. Having said that, there are sort of h3 weaknesses, but he's winning a free piece. h3 is a slight problem. Oh, it's more than a slight problem. It's mate. Rook at g1. Oof. So yeah, my warning is yeah, I saw knight at h3. I just didn't see that there was no back rank protection. Yeah, so I mean, I'm telling you that I was betting, I was saying, watch out, there could be a streak here from Jasugi99. We did see him win that game, so this is really important game for JannLee to bounce back in. Of course, he's got a 4-game lead, but I'm saying the players can take a break if they want a small break. Apparently, yeah. So the idea is if the queen takes the knight, there's a fork picking up the queen. So that's why he just puts a pawn there, defending, and there are three attackers on these. 3 attackers on this square, so he just takes that pawn. So it's 2 pieces for the pawn. This knight on d3 is actually looking a little lost, so he's probably going to at some point just sack it for something. Maybe just take g2 or something. The black has back rank issues, slight back rank issues, like rook. Does he have sacks the queen? I mean, this, so that's the problem. So maybe it's not so clear. The rook, it does not belong on d3. That's the other issue, though. So, like, it's not going anywhere on d3. Okay, so I'm slightly confused what's going on here. But JannLee's doing his usual thing of building a fortress. f7 is so weak. Okay, 12 seconds, 17 seconds. This is going to be really serious. Like, what's going to happen here? Just going to sack the queen, are you? 8 seconds against 9 seconds. I mean, and he wants to add f2. Add f2 is a threat. It's a big threat. But he has to keep going. My goodness. 6 seconds against 3 seconds. There's always that g8 mate threat. This is a problem. One second to go. Can he find the mate? Oh, he does. He does find the mate. I mean, that was mate coming. Yeah, like next move. But it's like no time to play it. But that was so stressful, and that was literally both players really going for it, and that was a massive game. Like I said, it was a really critical point in the match. Right now is a really critical point in the match. JannLee does have a 5-game lead, but Jasugi99 is. Yeah, Jasugi99 is really fighting back right now, and if Jan... Oh, this is going to be... No, it's not painful. Why couldn't he go knight at e2, takes, and that takes g2? Why wasn't that not a thing? Knight e2, takes. He could sack the queen, I guess, but... g5, okay, actually, this is nice. Yeah, okay, Jasugi is winning this one, basically. Like, yeah. Light squares are too weak. Yeah, so like I said, this is really the point where Jasugi is trying to come back into the match, and whether JannLee kind of snuffs it out or not, we're going to see now. Of course, we're going to see many more twists and turns throughout the match, because this is only game 45 out of 110, so we're only like 40% of the way through or something. Okay, so Jan's got a nice position. And yeah, if anyone in the Discord House Party channel wants to join me in giving commentary, that would be very welcomed. So the threat is quite clear. Takes the rook, rook h1 mate. Hang on, why didn't he? Okay, he moved the rook out of the way. Yes, so white wants a rook for h7, but there's no way of getting it, and black's just gonna. Ooh, so if bishop takes knight, queen takes queen is the issue. So that's why he gives up the queen for 2 pieces to get safety. Is it safe? I think he's safe. Yep. And bishop h1. I mean, it's not ideal, but okay. Queen takes rook doesn't work because there's another rook guarding it. So what does he have? Bishop is covering g7. Everything seems covered. And bishop takes queen is a threat. So yeah, white's just given up a queen and just defend. Yeah, I think white's kind of lost. Oh. Back rank issues. But yeah, very good move. I think it's a good move. Now, the threat is knight at f3 checkmate. Knight at f3 checkmate. That's what he's going for. He's not been allowed it. He's been denied it. Oh, rook takes queen is going to be an issue at some point. Check, takes. Rook here. Oh my goodness, this is so scary. King has to come back. Pawn here is checkmate. You couldn't promote? No, apparently not. There must be a mate here. Just only a pawn in hand, but this king takes. Pawn here is, come on, there must be a mate here. And he does indeed find the mate. Okay, wow. Okay, that was a really important game from JannLee. Like I said, this is a critical point in the match. Stopping a streak in this phase. But yeah, I think he's seen off the challenge, as it were, because Jasugi99 was really pressing in the last few games. And it's basically been fairly balanced. The last few games been fairly even. I mean, Jasugi99 basically fighting for all he's worth, but he's still treading water, as it were. So that's very promising for JannLee fans. Yeah, he wanted something at e2 at some point, but that's still. Knight takes bishop is coming. Oh, it's not coming. Of course, the queen was hanging. Eek. Now this is very strange. You can't take the knight because knight g4 and queen h2 will be probably mating. Can't calculate all the way through, but king g2 and so on. If the king comes here, there's double checks and so on. Okay, I kind of lost. So queen takes pawn at g7, and black gets safe. So it's a slight problem. You probably want something like knight at g4 or something like this. But that doesn't work, yeah, because the problem is black had knight at g3. So this is a very cunning move. Bishop. But bishop can just take the bishop. Oh, but you take back with check. Ah, nice. So, amazing. Okay, so he stops the king running back. King here. Does he have enough? King has to run forward into a discovery. Oh, he had to run forward. Yeah. So JannLee has seen off the threat, and I'm actually Jasugi99 is actually going to be in a little bit of a. It's going to have to focus here because JannLee is going to threaten to come up with another streak if he doesn't. Okay, so he takes the knight. Ooh, he's putting all that pressure on f2. Yep, why not? Why not take it? But giving up the queen, wow. And why does he do that? Because he just wants to just take back simply. His king is safe, and e3 is weak. So he can just dump on the dark squares now. He doesn't dump on the dark squares. He found a pin. Wow, that's nasty. Because if queen takes rook, you can even go at e3 and then take back the queen. Really nasty. So he just gets the king out of the way. I mean, just at e3 is just at e3 is good, but instead, okay, so he's keeping his king super safe. He could have gone rook takes bishop, I'd have thought, but he's going for this. You've got to watch out for queen takes h7. This is actually a threat because of at g6 and rook h7 kind of mating. So JannLee taking this threat very seriously. There could just be a swap of queens here, and I don't know if that black king is safe. Oh, yeah, white doesn't have a knight to go knight at g6 and do some crazy rook at h7 or something. Checkmate ideas, and yeah, I think Jan was winning that. Couldn't see the full finish, but okay. So like I said, JannLee's now won 3 in a row. 40, this is game 48, and this is the first game when knight takes. So what's the knight doing on d3? Where's it going? Well, for starters, it's actually stopping the d pawn pushing. It's actually quite good. The finish was queen at g1 check. So just to open up this last game. Queen at g1 check, rook takes g1, bishop takes g1, yeah, king takes g1, and rook at f1 checkmate. Rook at f1, rook h1 checkmate, yeah, indeed. So you guys can see the position. Okay, back to the current game. Yeah, so what this knight on d3 does, it stops white developing. Look how inactive the queen side is because of that. But white king is not very safe. Let's just be quite frank about this. Black king is also facing some issues. There's queen at d8 mate threat. Oof, quite a serious threat. What do you do against it? Maybe you have a mate of your own, like bishop takes knight. Might even be mating. But is it? Ah, so bishop takes knight, queen takes. The idea was some kind. No, I think it wasn't quite mate because you can just run back and the queen covers everything. Yeah, so okay, so white is threatening mate in 1 with queen at f5. Ah, pawn at e6. Does he have enough? Queen here, king here. Okay, so queen at e8, d8, very nice move. Just comes in with the queen, and then the rook on f8 with checkmate. Yeah, still has a rook in hand, I think. Yeah, so even though the bishop was protected by the knight, he had a rook. Okay, so again, we have this, this opening, just chasing away that bishop. Not going for g5, going for a slightly safer setup with f7, g6, h6. Okay, and 12-teen likes to attack, and so he's played f4 fairly early. So it means at some point we're going to try and expect an f5. JannLee's got his queen out to g4, which is always a bit risky because the queen can be hit with tempo. So I wouldn't be surprised if at some point he sacks the queen somewhere. Yeah, too many queen moves from JannLee this game, I'm just feeling. But okay, he's trying to go hit d3. So many queen moves because he really wants to swap queens. Jan likes to swap his queens, doesn't he? He has to get rid of his queen somehow. Okay, so this knight on d3, what's it doing? It's probably got an eye on f2, and so that's, yeah, this is quite opera style, this game from Jan. Just maneuvering his pieces into the attack, as it were. So why didn't he go pawn takes bishop? Because of knight takes pawn. I'm not sure if that was a threat or not, but the queen's quite good on d7. It looks like it's doing things. Really, yeah, I just feel this game is very kind of opera style, and the way Jan's playing this game is he's just beautiful. That was a beautiful game from Jan. Oh, really? just weaving magic all over the board. That was pure opera from JannLee. Okay, that was a wonderful game. As Phantom Troop said, sick. Yeah, it wasn't, yeah. Yeah, nice game. Okay, what is JannLee sacking early? There's nowhere for that knight to go. It couldn't go back, so it had to go forwards. And why king takes? Why not just knight takes? I guess because if knight takes, the pawn lands on g6, and white gets maybe a bit of initiative. This is okay. So he's winning that pawn. I mean, okay. This seems like slightly disappointing from Black because he's like been fighting away on everything and hasn't really got anything for what he fought for. But you might want to go for b2, but it's not. You don't really want to attack on the queen. You really want to attack on the king side, and like you have like a quadruple diagonals defending this king. It's like, how are we going to break through? Got to be careful because queen takes rook is an issue, and there's the back rank. White hasn't had time to develop, and this is an issue. This is really. He even had just queen takes rook straight away and bringing his queen in. I think that was even stronger, but he can still do it. Queen takes bishop. Queen takes bishop, bring your own queen in at some point. Oh, I think it's a knight still defends e3, so it's not so clear. But yeah, this looks very bad. So amazing. White king was so safe, but there were back rank issues, and back rank issues really hurt. Okay, so, but does he have anything? And now it's 10 seconds against 12 seconds, and it's just, oh my goodness, and he's losing his queen as well. So JannLee's really fought back this game. With check, oh my goodness. Queen here with a knight. Okay, he's just gone for back rank. He hasn't got a knight though. So he's got the king out. So 6 seconds against 2 seconds. I think he should have this, but how? It's just a flag. Okay, he couldn't. It wasn't. Yeah, I'm not sure if there was a mate, but he got a flag. Very weird opening this. I don't understand this opening where you just that we just saw just now. So black can never castle, but he's not interested in taking on d4. Apparently not yet. Just going for this pin, slightly uncomfortable pin, reasonable. Yeah, it's hard to defend these weaknesses. Answers. He's not. Okay, so the knight now defends the weakness. It's really uncomfortable for black here. Okay, so again, notice the check defending the weakness. The white king, so safe, and yeah, okay, now queen, if you had a pawn, okay, just trying to pick up a knight, because a knight on either, f5 or d5 is going to be pretty a pretty powerful piece, basically. Okay, so black going for some kind of counterattack on g2. Okay, and notice how that knight is both aggressive, but also having an eye on f5, so quite a nice attacking and defense at the same time. So can the king run away? The problem is JannLee's really short on time. He had a very uncomfortable position. But he's managed to get the king out. Oh, rook takes bishop. No, apparently not. That king is kind of trapped. If there isn't a mate. There isn't a mate. King's coming out. Bishop. Queen here. Okay. There's got to be a mate here. Pawn here. Yeah, knight checkmate. Okay. Yeah, so it was quite an uncomfortable position to play, and that's the key in Bullet, is you don't want to play positions where there are obvious positional weaknesses, because they're just going to be really uncomfortable to play. It's going to take a long time to figure out how to defend and so on. Okay, so down with all the knights, but with the knights he's picking up bishops. Now, interestingly, he doesn't go for the piece. No, because the queen is defending the piece, I guess. Just goes for safety, and the threat now is something, at some point, something on g3. Knight takes g3. So he's trying to unpick this. So he's hitting on g4. Okay, so he takes g4. And he wants a queen trade. Oh. Yeah, so the knight was defending knight f2, so that was the idea. But just quite hairy. Huh. So white doesn't have a knight for like knight at f6, so I'm kind of missing things. Knight f6 was a threat, so he just gets the king out of the way, very chill. Okay, he now wants pawn at f6, clearly. And he does it. And is there a threat? He wants... He could just takes, put a bishop here. We could see a draw. Yeah, could see a draw if they kept on repeating that. But we don't. Takes. Okay, knight at g3 is a threat, so he puts a bishop on g3 and he hits it, so pawn at f2 probably, just to defend, and that comes indeed. Knight takes bishop is a threat. JannLee's got 8 seconds against 13 seconds. Okay, he wants, yeah, the classic mate. That was always the threat the whole time, and he eventually got it to work. So that, yeah, that was careless, slightly careless. Okay, so I missed a couple of moves there, just looked away a moment. So just to I guess so JannLee, looking at the status of the match as a whole, so JannLee had a streak of 10 and also a streak of 6 just now, and Jasugi now is just fighting back a little bit. I'd say it's still fairly level in terms of energy, in terms of both players, with JannLee having a +8 advantage. +8 is a big advantage, 30 to 22 after 52 games, so almost at the halfway stage of the match. +8, quite a big advantage. But I think energy is also important, and in terms of energy, I'd say it's kind of level, which is not good if you're 12-teen, because you really want to, with this huge deficit, you'd really want to have some momentum, basically. So I'd say the momentum is fairly level at the moment. Interesting. How do you defend this sort of situation? Oh, I'd have loved to say that, seen that played out to its conclusion. You defend, but then you took the queen. Bishop takes queen. Block, bishop takes queen. I don't think that was a direct mate. I think it was just, yeah. But if someone in chat can tell me that was a direct mate at the end there. I think it was just a block at h6. Maybe they had something in hand and at h7, but I think it was just losing a whole queen and resigned. So Jasugi has just won 3 in a row, so it is a good fight back from him. Takes knight. Queen a5 seems simple enough. I'm not sure which game this is referring to. Probably this game. Okay. Knight coming in, this seems good, because you take this one next, potentially, or you go bishop here and takes... Ooh, hang on, so why not bishop takes knight? I'm very confused. Oh yeah, sorry, bishop takes knight, pawn takes rook. Okay, I'm just not paying attention. So threat and counter threat. Okay, so the thing about this, you could get a queen here, but the queen is slightly out of action. So you've got to be careful, because bishop takes bishop and pawn at e2 is too big a threat to ignore. No, this is completely lost. Is it completely lost? I mean, oh, this is painful. I mean, bishop takes, yeah, knight takes rook, rook takes. If king takes bishop, you're promoting, so you can't take that one. You could take this one, maybe. Oh, another rook. Oof. Oh, this is good. This has got to be all over. Oh, we had a third rook. Oh my goodness. Okay, so wonderful. Jasugi is actually putting together a streak, which I did not see coming. Finisher says the rook mate. Yeah, 3 rooks covering all the files. As Crazyhouse points out, this is the 55th game of the match. So after this game, it will be half the match will be completed. At the moment, it's a 6-game deficit. So 5-game deficit or 7-game deficit at the end of this match. At the end of this game, yeah. Somehow, JannLee's not playing quite as solid as. Yeah, the problem is he's allowing himself to be attacked rather too much. And this is looking really uncomfortable. So he just has to go for his own counterattack here. Very nice sort of defending with an attacking move. Bishop h6, quite a nice move because it defended his f1. Okay, but hang on a second. If you come down, rook there, check, pawn here. Okay, yeah, rook at h1, pawn at g2 was the problem if you ran down. So you ran up instead. And now the bishop f5. Oh, I thought bishop f5 was strong. Rook there, knight f4 was checkmating. Bishop f5 was missed. This might also be strong. So you block, but then there's rook here, pawn takes knight check. knight here and bishop here. So yeah, this is getting mated as well. So if this isn't mate, I'd be very surprised. And it is mate, basically. Rook h. Yeah, rook h. So a good fight back from Jan, and it means it's +7 at the halfway stage of the match. That's a good lead to have at the halfway stage. Yep. Definitely be happy with how things have gone. Okay, so interesting. Jan sacks the queen just for a pawn and some positional nonsense, as it were. He gets the queen back. Okay, you got to be careful. The problem is you can't just take the queen. Oh, well, how sad! You just got the 2 knights, mate. How sad! It doesn't work. Just knight h3, just checkmate. How can you fall for that? Knight f3, king h1 at g2 takes knight here. King has to run up, and then queen at g2 was. Hang on a second. What? Had Jan calculated this? There must have been a mate, and I'm just like, whoa. And yet I can't see it. And things move on. Oppa says he walks to h4, and the king is safe on h4 apparently. Yeah, that's surprising. So, okay, I need to get back to the current position. It's kind of 12 seconds against 16 seconds. That's the first thing to be aware of. Oh, you can't go bishop takes because of smothered mate. So you had to go with king takes. And now just bishop out, bishop out, bishop out. Yes, bishop out. And now the other bishop, yes, very good. And now the king can't run back. So 7 seconds against 5 seconds. You've only got 5 seconds left, but I think that's going to be enough. Queen here. Yeah, and he finds the mate. Amazing. So that's 2 in a row. Two in a row from JannLee, +8 after 56 games. And Crazyhouse says black should have picked up the extra knight with queen takes f6. Yeah, so I think he means queen f3, queen takes f6, check. Oh yes, that's true. So queen f3, king takes h4, queen takes f6, check in that last game. Certainly that was kind of crazy. Oh, I just, what happened here? Okay, I'm just losing track of the current game. Yeah, it seemed like a crazy thing to do, to allow a 2 knights and queen and diagonal attack. But JannLee braved it and somehow survived it, so that was nuts. Knight takes bishop, pawn takes rook. Does not work because rook at g8 is a mate threat. Oh, is it a mate threat? I'm really confused at this point. Difficult not to flag as well, to flag mentally, as it were. Okay, so king here. The problem is queen here, pawn here, and so on. So 2 pawns mates. Okay. Oh, nice mate. I mean, great focus basically from Jan here. It's really tough. Like, it's unrelenting pressure. This is really hard. Really tough. Okay, so he moves the knight. There's going to be an exchange of bishops. Okay, f3 is going to be the target. I mean, the idea is just chase away that knight, or the knight's been chased away, and then start dropping on f3. That's going to be the basic strategy for black here. So why does he go knight takes? I mean, Okay, so it went a little bit too quickly for me. It's the point you can always just defend, but then takes, and repeat. Okay, so he takes, knight takes. So you always got to think, is the trade going to benefit you or me? Now notice he just wants to put a knight on f6. He's trying to clear away the f6 square and put a knight on f6. If he takes here... Okay, that was a nice clearance operation. Why couldn't white just take here? Because I guess it was clearance of g2 was the issue. Okay, but this is coming... So, huge material. Does Jan have a mate here? Because if he doesn't have a mate, he's sacked a lot for this attack. I mean, the king... Oh, you can't take en passant. Queen here is interesting, but the king can just come back. So maybe... Okay, goes for the rook first. Okay. Okay, goes for the pawn. Okay, fine. Pawn again. Oh, the king's getting away, though. Unless it's a repetition. Pawn again. Okay. It has to go here, because queen here is checkmate. Again, I can't see mate. He just takes the pieces and says, like, you don't have anything. Oof. And impossible to defend. Okay, I'm... It's like, as a commentator, I'm feeling, oh gosh, I need a break after all this. 58 games, I'm like, whoa, this is relentless. Whoa, I think 12 team needs a timeout right now. Okay, nice. So just being very, very solid, defending h3 g2. You don't want to take here because queen takes queen, and at h1 is the problem. Oh, painful. He had to defend this g2. Just absolutely had to defend this. And this is just brutal. Crazyhouse says, Opposite says, should have said there should be take some small breaks. Crazyhouse says it might be a good time to take a breather. Operator says playing more than 3 hours in a row is not good without a small break. I think if you're JannLee, you're fine. You don't want to. He doesn't want to stay up till 3 in the morning. He wants to get it all done by 2 a.m. Yeah, well, not by 2 a.m., but by 2:30 a.m. So he's like, nah, bring it on. Crazy Home says we could use a break too. It's funny because Crazy Home can't hear my commentary because I'm actually I'm just recording. I'm not live commenting. Oh, beautiful mate. Is it a mate? No, knight takes. Is it a mate? Does he have a mate? He just takes. Pawn, okay. He wants a pawn. He doesn't have enough diagonals. Okay, he picks up another diagonal. Pawn here. King here. He doesn't quite have it. I just don't see it. There's knights there. Oh, now there's mates all over. Now it's impossible. Yeah. Yeah, so that was nice win from Jasugi. To break the streak. No, it's funny how we both were feeling like we needed a break. Crazy Home in the chat and and myself. Okay, interesting. So he doesn't take on d3 because I guess he just would get chased away, so he doesn't do that. The thing about this kind of structure is just doubled pawn on d2, d3 is really hard to develop. He wants to push d4 and now he can't even do that because the pawn would take it. So it's just, this position is actually very hard for white to develop. In terms of material, white's doing completely fine. But in terms of development, black has got a big edge in development. He's all castled, everything's fine. h3. Does he sack or not? He decides not to, decides to go for like knight takes d3 ideas. Oh, bishop takes d3 ideas even. So he's trying to chase the queen away so he can... I don't know, it's quite... The knights defend, so... I'm just trying to think, is there any smother idea here? Can't see anything. I mean... So he was willing to lose the queen just to get some kind of counterattack. Bishop takes 3, you've got a queen in hand, so like bishop takes g7 is a mate threat, as it were, with bishop h6, queen g7 mate. So this is a slight issue. He's just going to take it. He thinks he's safe. Check. Queen takes bishop. No, he doesn't want to do queen takes bishop. Queen takes bishop takes queen here. Yeah, maybe there wasn't. Does queen takes bishop work? I wonder if queen takes bishop works though, because pawn here, queen here, king there, bishop. I'm wondering if queen takes bishop worked. But anyway, white found another mate. Okay, we've got another of these d4, d5 with safe setup, which I've never actually tried playing this as black. It looks interesting. As the finisher says, exactly 50 games left. So only 1 hour, 1.5 hours to go. Okay, very nice. Okay, and plus 10 for JannLee. That's a big advantage. So yeah, in terms of the break, I really feel Jasugi99 would benefit probably from a break. I think for JannLee, he just feel like this has been going really nicely so far, and probably Jasugi99 would be a little bit dispirited in terms of there's just been some really punishing streaks. And yeah, I mean, JannLee's just been awesome, basically. So there's a slight weakness along this diagonal. That bishop on h7 is kind of questionable. Oh, what's going on here? Just sacking everything? Is there... Knight takes rook, so what? Bishop here. Like, maybe he does have enough. Bishop takes pawn. I was thinking bishop takes pawn. Interesting. This is actually quite scary, a little bit scary. I think he's found safety actually. I think white might have had mate somewhere there, but maybe he didn't, and Jan managed to sneak away. And now the counterattack is coming. Like, yeah, pawn. Pawn even here is just going to be crushing. So 7 seconds against 2 seconds. You just need, let's check again, just throwing checks, check. 5 seconds against 2 seconds. Okay, watch out. This is Jasugi coming back. 2 seconds against 1 second. Okay, I think JannLee will win this, but it's a warning sign. Yeah, it's a warning sign. Jasugi99 is back. You have to always watch those games when a player loses, but they almost come back from the dead, as Jasugi99 did there. It's like a second lease of life, I feel like he's got. And so yeah, I'd say Jasugi99 favourite without looking at this game for this one. Now actually when I look at the game, how are things getting on really? Can't see the checks that will come in. We've seen this almost this exact line before. I think the point is king takes pawn, knight here happened last time. And we see it happening again, and this does look pretty wretched. We saw it last time, king there, bishop here, and no, maybe it was just king here. King here, bishop here. Oh, so he just picks up the queen, takes. We've had this before. And what happened before was what? Pawn there, check. Bishop takes, and then rook here, check. I think that's what it is. How do you defend? Why is he thinking? Okay, I'm sure that's right. Pawn here, check. Bishop takes, rook here, check. And how do you defend? It's not very easy to defend the back rank. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I'm just thinking. Okay, so he does this instead, and this is also strong. So the bishop is doing good defensive work as well, as long as you don't get mated. Yeah, and it seems like the mates are covered. So does white have it? Queen here. He's not doing that at all. Going instead. He's only got 4 seconds. That's his real problem. It's a real problem. Bishop takes pawn. Pawn, just something. Yeah, pawn check. Queen takes rook, but rook check doesn't quite have enough, and he flags. So yeah, I mean, I did say Jasugi99 was favourite for that game, just because. But in terms of the position, I thought JannLee was going to win it. But you can see that Jasugi99 has a fresh wave of energy right now, and he's fighting back, and he needs to. He's running 10 down. So Mixu says time for a coffee break here. Do feel free to jump in after your coffee break, and we can do some live commentary together. Catharaxi says, Oppa, you talk too fast. Who is the Crazyhouse world champion who wanted a threesome and broke their couple? The CWC champion. Not entirely following. Okay, rook at h1, quite a good move because it stops also ideas of queen h5 check, kind of nasty. Okay, so like I said, I think JannLee has to watch out these games. Jasugi99 playing very safe. Ooh, I think though JannLee's in. Very hard to defend, isn't it? I don't know how you defend this. Simply even just bishop. Oh, he's just going. That seems extra safe, but it seems to be good enough. Bishop g2. Oh my goodness, that was bad miss. I was expecting just to sack bishop g2, king takes knight, and then something forcing, but he just went for the safe option, and yeah, that's called the streak breaker. This helpmate, as Catharaxi said. Yeah, it was already tough. We just walked into it. JannLee is playing amazingly, of course. That queen is trapped. No, it's not quite trapped. It has a couple of squares left. He's going for knight takes c2, picking up the queen. Okay, so what does white do? He needs to really defend this if at all possible. And the problem is you don't want to put a knight on a3. That's kind of the awkward thing, but that's the best move. Knight a3 or queen here. Okay, so he goes for the more logical. We're going to block with a pawn. No, he's not going to block. What is going on here? He doesn't go queen takes queen because bishop takes queen actually covers the mate on e1. That's why. So that's why he doesn't really want the queen trade. Because bishop takes queen threatens all kinds of mates on black while also defending. Okay, so he's just hitting the rook. Free rook. Uh-oh. So it's a double check. Now what do we do? We just take that free rook. Huh. He wants rook takes bishop. And he's not going to get it. Uh-oh. I think he's getting mated here. That's my feeling. King here. And a couple of pawns mate you. So JannLee from a quite scary looking position has found mate. I was going to just open up this in so just a notification about some Crazyhouse League action, which I'll check out after the stream. So always notice this exchange, you only want to do it if you have to do it, because this pawn on e5 is a great attacking piece. Oh, I quite like this diamond formation that white has. It means on the dark squares he's got really good defense, and means he's also got really good attack on the dark squares. At some point, Black's going to have to try and break that diamond with f6. But interesting that JannLee is not going for that. Now, that means what does White do? White has to go on some kind of attack on the light squares. You're not... sorry, I meant Black has to go on some kind of attack on the light squares. Okay, so Black never played f6, which means that White got in at f6. So what do I think now? I mean, I'm thinking Black has this sort of dark square domination, and I think it's gonna... I don't know. I think it's gonna hurt, right? So he sacks the queen for 2 pieces. Again, this dark square domination remains. So now they're mate threats, but as long as you don't get mated, yeah. So again, it doesn't quite exist. I mean, really good defense from Jan. I mean, defense by attacking, as it were. But he's down to 6 seconds, and is there anything? That's basically his issue. It's the rook h2, so close to a mate, but is there anything? Takes Black versus Jasugi1 check, and JannLee resigned. Yeah. So Jasugi won that game, and I thought he would because his position was very nice, but I wasn't so sure. I mean, Jan's attack looked quite promising. Okay, so I had the choice: do I take on f7 or do I take on c6? Take on c6 it just creates a weakness on b7, just exchange pieces. Takes here is like exposes the king a bit. So that was the sort of choice that, and JannLee went for let's just exchange pieces. Let's respect the material, as it were, and maybe create a slight weakness here. So in future, bishop at b7 is always a nice move, picking up a pawn. But the focus is on the king side for now. He could always pick up a knight if he ever wants it. Actually, he has a very nice move, which is takes, 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 takes. That wasn't what I was thinking, but okay. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so the bishop is now under attack. Very awkward. So queen takes g7 was a threat. Now pawn takes g7 is a threat. Still a threat at h3, exactly. So he throws in a check, bishop, pawn check. He just sacks the queen. So he's basically saying, I've got a mate here. Pawn takes bishop, knight at h3 was a mate threat. Okay, can the king run back? I can't see it goes too quickly. If the king runs back, oh, you got queen takes rook. Okay, so there is a mate, but he just resigned it. But I think the mate is queen take. Okay, if I just show you the position, the mate is queen takes rook, queen takes queen, and then a rook at h8, king takes h8 at g7, king g8, knight at f6, checkmate. But he just resigned, probably. Okay, so in this position, queen takes queen. The problem is exactly these two knights checking. Oh, 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 oops. He thought he'd take it. And so he just did knight to f3, and that just doesn't work because now white's got an attack. So that was slight tilt from JannLee. Pre-move madness, as Crazyhouse said. Yeah, he was sure that he would take it. And yeah, it was just a free queen, knight takes queen, and he just didn't realize. And then if you don't take the queen, you got your two knights on 8, just not doing anything. And yeah, white simply had queen takes pawn and probably mating. Okay, what's going on here? Let's try and get our head around this position. So Jasugi99 again, he's just trying to fight with this 10-game deficit, which is painful. Because he's not really making headway. I'd say it's a very good game in terms of both players actually matching each other head for tit for tat, as it were. But that's great for JannLee because he's 10 games ahead, so tit for tat is not really good enough. So that puts like extra pressure on 12 team, makes it really quite hard. Because 12 team knows he needs to kind of step up a level at some point. Really kind of. So you can just take that. What's the idea? Yeah, nothing. And now it's White's turn to attack. And he does. So knight takes rook, pawn takes. White doesn't have. Okay, so he's trying to get rid of these diagonals. Get rid of the diagonal, then take rid of this bishop. What? Ooh, dangerous, dangerous. Takes. He's just about okay, I think. Isn't he? Oh, he's not okay. Takes. Oh my goodness, he got mated. Wow. I did not expect that. I thought he could be safe, but takes. He only had a knight. Surely he could just run back. Only, or did he have another knight? Okay, so he just castles after the. So there might be an exchange of minors and also an exchange of rooks. That's the question. Is that something you want? Your own bishop is a little bit. So he said, I don't want to use my knight for a bishop. What is the idea here? JannLee going slightly crazy, sacking his rook for a pawn. I mean, it's a good pawn on f3, but what is there to show for this exactly? So Jan's sacking quite hard here. What's he going for? He wants a knight for h3, I guess. Okay, so bishop h3 is just saying, ooh, painful. So he wins a rook. Okay, and he immediately does something with that rook. Knight takes bishop is also interesting. He doesn't do that though. And he lets white get safe, which is painful. Well, there's no place for this bishop, so he's going to have to just do something like. Ooh, that was a good move actually. No, just knight takes pawn just seemed fine, but okay, maybe it wasn't fine. Oh. Okay, I think 12-teen is actually in some kind of zone here. I was expecting queen takes g7, but it went this way. Knight here, rook takes pawn doesn't work, but bishop there is mate because the rook was covering the g file. This is breathless stuff. 12-teen is really in a zone right now, and yeah, he needs to be with this 9-game deficit. He's fighting back. Yeah, just 9 games. I mean, this is I'd say this is again a critical point in the match. We said it earlier, saying and say it again. They've been matching each other tit for tat through long stretches, but apart from that 10-game streak, and there's another 6-game streak, I'd say 12-teen's actually probably had the better of it. Apart from those 2 long streaks, slight better of it, but those 2 long streaks were really insane. And so let's see what happens here. Okay, so he didn't lose a knight, so f7 obviously was the big weakness. He wants a knight for f7, because then you got a rook, and then when you got a rook, you can then start attacking the back rank. Okay, so white just preserving material, exchanges the knights. Knight's not quite as useful there, but yeah, so g6 is obviously the square, which is why black protects this square, but also he's got an eye on these 2 squares. You've got to also be a little bit careful of rook here, knight. Yeah, if black can get hold of a rook, rook at g1, rook takes, knight takes bishop, takes, knight here. Yeah, he needs a rook and a knight, to be fair. So just saying you don't have anything. He wants pawn. Black wants pawn at g2. Okay, white blocks it off. Okay, is a black king safe? Knight g6. We start to work away at things, but seems safe enough. Queen. Can't see anything wrong with. Seems safe enough, and oh yes, that bishop couldn't guard both these squares, so he won the queen, and I think JannLee's going to take this one. Takes it on time. Okay, so that's 70 games out of 100, so 40 to go. And we again have this very safe setup from JannLee. Slightly passive, some would say. So it's not something that Stockfish necessarily likes, but it's actually very practical. Quite good in 1+0. Even if you lose this knight for a pawn, you can just it's fine. This is quite hard to break in, and it just gives your. If you could play fast, you've now got to your opponent has to think for longer to try and see how to break in. And in this case, actually, it's black's doing completely fine. You could even take the queen, but yeah, no, takes the knight because that creates more threats. There's no discovery. Maybe taking with the knight wasn't so smart because now he could block. Okay, so he found some. He could just back off. Yeah. Okay, so this knight now is a liability, so it's going to have to back off. But it can't back off because then knight takes pawn is an issue. So you have to counterattack. So attack, counterattack. Okay, you can't take here because knight takes here. It's a big issue. So attack and counterattack. Why not king takes pawn? Could do, but knight takes pawn is a slight issue. He wants something like bishop takes pawn, maybe. Ooh, what does he want here? He wants to clear f6 for a knight. Very nice. This is high-level stuff. So he's going to go pawn here, pawn here. If you can get a pawn here and then put a knight on f6, that's what he wants. So you just rushing to take this pawn. It's a good defensive move as well. This one you can just do this. Perfectly safe. And he gets the pawn on g7. 16 seconds against 3 seconds. Can Jan do anything? Just going for it. Doesn't have anything. It's only 1 second. Nothing going. So very nice play from Jasugi99. Again, taking the deficit down to 9 games. So we're in this sort of tense portion of the match. d3, he wants d3, but it doesn't have it. The knight gets kicked. Jasugi catching up fast. Well, not sure if he's catching up fast, but he has won 4 of the last 5 games. So, and JannLee's development this game is something not to write home about, as it were. Painful development this game, and he might regret that. Whereas 12-team is very nicely developed. But having said that, oh, okay, bishop defends. So knight takes bishop. Got to see, is there a problem? You've always got to watch out this square. They're not available because of the knight fork. Obviously, he's going for a queen trade, and yeah, white doesn't really want a queen trade, so that's uncomfortable. He doesn't. Okay. Oh, sneaky. So pawn takes queen, rook takes queen, knight h6. So black immediately covers knight h6. Very sneaky from both players. This is a nice move because e3 is a real weakness in the position, and just double covering e3. Takes. Okay, now I think. Yeah, I think white's doing well here. Takes. Queen takes bishop. He gets everything he needs to do a 2-knight mate. And he realizes it. Knight here, check. Oh, the rook covers. Ah, I didn't recognize that. Takes, takes, takes. It's not clear. 9 seconds against 9 seconds. Things are not so clear. I think 6 seconds against 6 seconds. I mean, I feel like white should be better, but 2 seconds against 3 seconds. It's just time. Like obviously white's. I feel like. Can he get the mate? Just takes rook mate. Yeah, he gets the mate. JannLee gets the mate in the nick of time. So just to show you that final position. Bishop takes rook was checkmate. Knight at f7 was also checkmate. And he found the mate with, like, was it less than a second on the clock? Rook e1 seems fairly clear to try and just pin the queen, but you can just take. You can just block, as it were. Okay, this looks bad. This looks bad for Jasugi. Rook is coming. What's the best way of doing this? So he does. Why would you do this? And why does the king not come back to here? Oh, because knight takes f3 maybe. Knight takes f3, rook takes queen. Not clear. Oh, I see it now. No, I don't see it. Okay, so the king is running. Going for rook takes pawn. Oh, just bishop here. Very safe. Defends both the knights. So I thought that was a pretty move, but and I don't think there's a queen takes bishop sack. Don't feel there's anything in. Maybe he was worried about queen takes bishop, so he just went at e6 instead. Queen takes knight doesn't work because of knight here check. Whichever knight you take, both knights are protected. Okay, so that was actually quite sneaky. Okay, so JannLee doing really nicely in this position, but he does have a 5-second deficit on the clock. Oh, it's opening up this rook file if he can. What is the idea? Not clear actually. I mean, he has this check at some point. But okay, some other things are happening. It's just time, 7 seconds against 11 seconds. Quite a crazy position. Kind of just throwing stuff around this game. Just throwing checks, basically. 4 seconds against 3 seconds. Basically, JannLee going for the flag. And so is... Oh, he got mated. Jasugi got mated in that final position. Because king goes to c3 and queen c2 is checkmate. Kind of dirty flag there from JannLee. Yeah. But he's going for the flag fairly early, actually. Quite a... Yes. Lone Wolf says, you can see they're both tired, though, in time scrambles. And after that, 2 games from JannLee, that's an 11-game deficit. And just look at this. Look at the way this. Look at this. Fortress king. It's not necessarily safe to do fortress king like this because how do you defend g2, for example? And you end up having to walk your king out of the fortress if you take that. So actually, I'd say knight takes pawn. Pawn there is a huge threat. So knight takes pawn. He can't take the knight. He just has to. He has to just get out of the way. Oh, this is just painful. This can't be good. Queen takes queen. Rook here, I thought. Okay. No, rook here maybe just blocks. I don't understand. You can just take it. Takes. Okay. Oh, exchange of queens. That's going to hurt. Yeah, this is going to get mated. yeah, it gets mated in 2, and if he stepped back, that was also getting mated, I'm sure. So the games are following the same openings for quite a while, both fairly settled. So I have to say, well, are these openings good for white or for black? I'd say it's okay. I'd say black's doing okay. Black has this sort of, yeah. I'd say black's doing okay. A few sacrifices of a piece of 2 pawns from both sides. Okay, so knight takes pawn is the threat. Nice sort of active move to defend. He's probably going to do something like pawn h4 to. Okay, you had to take that knight because obviously h7 was a threat. Okay, now what? What's the idea? Just defend. Bishop takes pawn. Okay, so both sides seem to be doing quite nicely. You can't take this obviously because of this. That's checkmate, or nearly checkmate. So you don't want to, this is very like nasty. Takes, just working in on that diagonal. Okay, so nice defending with the knight, so trying to give, so he doesn't have the pawns. If he takes, just takes here. So this is really, really powerful from 12-team, just working away on, just focusing. I'm just gonna work away on, get lots of pawns. So if pawn takes pawn, queen takes bishop is his idea. Yeah, so JannLee is really good though at figuring this stuff out. He's not got much time, he's got to figure it out. I think he's figured it out. He's figured it out. What? Oh, I thought he was going to go for the draw. What? Knight? He just needs a knight. How can he get a knight? He's going to get mated, surely. He gets flagged. He had the draw. He had the draw, and he was down 10 seconds. I thought he was just going to take the draw there. But he didn't take the draw. He went for the win, even though he was 10 seconds down. And sure, he had the free queen, but that's not enough. Because you lose initiative when you take the piece, when you take the queen. So it was quite a hard position to play. Ooh, painful. So that's 75 games played, 35 left. And Crazyhouse answers before I had a chance. So what do we think here? So queen takes pawn is actually a threat. Yeah, queen takes pawn is actually a threat. So blocking off this diagonal with something like pawn here is a nice idea, but then knight h3 would be a problem. Knight h3, and then knight takes f2. And why did he do it anyway? Because the rook was defending f2. Okay, so he recognized that f2 was an issue. Ooh, that was a nice little mate. So hang on. Okay, I didn't, just lost track. Okay, so we see this opening repeated. So Jasugi99's won 3 in a row, so just taking it back to an 8-game deficit. So 8-game deficit with 34 games left. So kind of tense stuff from both players. G6 is hanging, what? No, it's not, because bishop was guarding it. Okay, so all white's pieces are are hitting dark. Notice how all white's knights were on light squares a second ago, so white was really just hitting these dark squares with all his forces. Which is why black put his pawns on dark squares to counter that. And yeah, that's what it's now the shift in focus to the light squares is going to be the key. Oh, I didn't see that. That's like, oops. The takes. Okay, what is the situation? What's going on here? Losing his queen. Doesn't even. Okay, he's threatening rook at h1. Ouch. Rook at h1. Okay, rook at h1. What is the idea? Just keeping that knight defended. Jan, I mean, this is amazing from Jan. Rook at h1. No, he doesn't have a rook anymore. So he wants this, but knight takes. Oof. Oh, that was another of those, one of those games. That was one of those games. And a really critical stage as well. Jasugi just got a 3-game streak, and I'd say Jasugi's this is gonna be really critical stuff. Okay. So we're threatening to take the knight with check, so you defend. He's going to attack the knight, for sure. I thought a pawn would be more powerful, but okay. He attacks with the bishop. Black goes for a counter-attack. Takes. Okay, so white really just going for the counter. Bishop takes knight. No, it doesn't quite work. Rook takes knight. Maybe rook takes knight. But the problem is, are you getting attacked? So if knight takes, bishop takes queen, but maybe you're getting attacked strongly. Oof. Knight there, check. King out. Yep, knight takes rook. So the threat is... Yeah, we need a threat. The king can still run here is the actual issue. So with that knight he actually defends f3. But is that good enough to defend f3? Queen here, king takes knight. Knight here. There might be a mate. You have to play this quickly. I think he's really just going to avoid them. Okay. Whoa. Like, where's the check? Where's the next check? And Jasugi flags looking for the next check. I thought he'd found at least a draw. And no, JannLee manages to find... Okay, so that is... wow, not a draw. I really thought that would be a draw. So defeat champion. Who is defeat champion? Not sure. Jan takes no draw. I know he lost the game when he could have taken a draw. And that game, he evaded the draw again. Wanyoni said, wish there were just one continuous chat. I see, yeah, so that you could see the previous chat from the series. That would be a nice feature. And as people say, well, watch Twitch chat. So what do I think about this game? This is the entry point. I always like to think about entry points in the position. An entry point for white, I feel. Whereas for black, entry point into white's position, well, black is already kind of camped out. Black already has a settlement in on white's position. So black basically has to either just pick off everything or Yeah, he's going for he's at d2. Simple, defend. Dark square defense, and like, what does black do? He's got black has no time. It's just, yeah, white's really safe, basically. Just blocks, just flagging time or mating time. Yeah, and he gets the mate. So Jasugi gets the mate, cuts the deficit again. To 9 games, which we've seen quite a lot of. So he's trying to hit this knight because then this square becomes weak. Either knight could have jumped in here, but okay, the bishop defends. Pawn takes bishop, bishop takes. Just trying to defend these squares. So the queen is trying to defend the 5th rank. Okay, so the problem here is knight here, exactly. And amazingly, he doesn't even just go knight takes, knight takes. He just... Okay, so Jan just completely crushing this match. So we're in a dangerous zone. Whoa, what's the idea? Of course, the bishop was defending the checkmate. Impossible. So if you take the queen, it's checkmate. If you don't take the queen, you defend this point. You just queen here anyway. Takes checkmate. So jet. Yeah. So yeah, JannLee is actually really focusing at this point. So we're in the last 30 games. Did he just lose a pawn? Yeah. So he lost his queen, but I think it's quite a nice position actually. So why not pawn? Why didn't he just go pawn it? So I think the reason he didn't is because takes, and rook h1 might have been an issue, but so white doesn't have enough. Okay, yeah, no, he takes pawn. The reason he desperately wants a pawn is because he wants to get in on the back rank. And this is a nice move. Just oh yeah. So this is you can see this is the battle for diagonals. So controlling this diagonal is so important. And white's managed to do it at a price, and the price is he's allowed this. So does that matter? Okay, and black's gone, okay, I'm just going to give myself some luft, and you can't get me. So he's given up this diagonal, but he's gone for, maybe I've got some real dangerous threats with pawn here, pawn here. I think it's lethal. Pawn here, king here, pawn here. He's going to go for it, and I think it's lethal. Oh, pawn takes, queen takes, knight takes. Okay, the unfortunate thing with knight takes is then we lose our that knight. Yeah, you'd have to get out that knight with, yeah, very nice, very nice. And we've got 2 queens, remember. Queen takes bishop, sacks the queen, and again the king is restricted to these 2 squares. Bishop, knight. Yeah, and Jan wins. So it's bishop, just to show the position of bishop g2, oof, bishop g2, king g1, knight f3, checkmate. So even though h2 is defended by the bishop, he had pieces in hand, bishop and knight, and that will be mating. So we're back to this from the very first or second game of the match. This line, except instead of trading, we see this slight variation. Okay, so simple thing to do would be just develop, and that's exactly what Jan does. So he hits the piece, comes in. So now he's got an eye on f7. Why not just take it? So JannLee kind of bossing things right now. Like, unless there's something, is there anything? So he wants queen takes f2 checkmate. Ooh, f3. Kind of sneaky. Because that's hitting the queen and threatening mate, so really interesting defense. Okay, so see how there's a battle for this diagonal. Takes, and if you can get some knight, then this is a threat as well at some point. Yeah, bishop takes knight. Whoa, he fell for it. And now he's losing his queen. Yep. So now the question is he getting mated at all? Nope, the bishop's covering all checks. So no, so he can just go in. You need to, oh no, you can't. Knight takes bishop. Oops. Yeah, you gotta really defend. So just defend. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so simply saying you have nothing, and I'm now going to attack your back rank. Rook here, you're going to take the queen. You take the queen first. That was, yeah, I feel that's wrong. You should take the queen first. But okay, he takes the queen now, it makes no difference. He's going to come in here. Okay, Jasugi's got no time and no possession. JannLee is stepping on that accelerator in these last games. Upperweizen says he expected a shorter match. Yeah, so originally this was going to be a sort of, was it a 30-game match or something? But JannLee and Jasugi99 had a chat with each other, and Master Tan had also offered some money, $60, and they decided we're going to make every game count. So it's $1 for every game, $110 on the line. Yeah. And my purpose streaming is to try and make something hopefully instructive and useful for those. So I guess, yeah. Oh, yeah. So bishop and rook both defend f3, so everything's fine. My purpose of streaming is probably to make something for those who, for which certain things are not completely obvious. So, so to stream more for like the sub 2000 audience, as it were, rather than the best in the world. But okay, so he thinks a knight is mating, and he must be right. So why is a knight mating? Because knight here check, knight at here check. Is it? No, knight here check. But okay, I guess I'm getting distracted, and so I'm not doing a great job right now. Why was the knight mating? I'm still lost. It's hard to keep focus for 110 games. He could have promoted to knight, and he didn't do that, and it's looking a little uncomfortable because of that. Because now another rook's coming in. Okay, white could come here and block, but he doesn't. Okay, so he's got to do this. Oh, this is so uncomfortable. Oh, that's so uncomfortable. He could have just gone for the just shuffled. No, the shuffle he gets mated. Okay, so he could have just blocked. He didn't have to walk to g3. He could have blocked on h2. No. Okay, maybe he didn't have that opportunity. Okay, so what I said is I want to try and create stuff which is yeah, let's focus. What are the weak points in the position? That's what I want to just kind of. So obviously d3 is a slight weakness. And what's white's plan? I think white's plan is going to get in on f6 at some point. He has this advanced pawn on e5, so all white's ideas are going to center on f6. And who's doing better in this job? And you can see white's doing better for the moment, at least, in just getting in on the weak squares. It's a nice move because the bishop can take on here next. So you take often when you take material, okay, you take material, but then you lose a little bit of your attack. You lose a little bit of your initiative. Very uncomfortable position, actually. White's not so comfortable because if knight f2 is a threat. So maybe actually rook f2 is an interesting defense, which I hadn't thought of. Well, that's where he's losing his queen, and with check. This is a dire. It's game over. Pawn here, king takes pawn, then just bishop here, and then another pawn here, and another pawn here. So after rook takes bishop, pawn here, checkmate. So very nice mating attack from Jasugi, brings the deficit from 13 down to 12. But we are like, how many games left? 84, 26 games left. So actually JannLee only 7 games away from the victory. So we're going to need some stunning streaks from Jasugi to pull it back. So what's the situation here? White really just, actually White's playing very nicely here. Just piling up on the diagonal, and could even take here, and he does take on G7 with the idea of just getting in on F6 and G7. Now, Queen takes knight is tempting, but it's just not quite there. Bishop takes knight. Yeah, bishop takes knight. Well, we lose a diagonal. We really want diagonal pieces. That's the only thing. But it may be a good idea. The point here, we're just trading. It's not clear it's quite good enough. At G7 might even be possible. Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like... Okay, so he wants a knight. F6 next, but what's that going to do? Well, he wants Queen H2. That's sneaky. King's going to hide. Rook takes king, hide. Rook takes rook. Oh, this is nasty. He wants the queen with. Oh my goodness! Yeah, he wants the queen with check. So pawn here. Oh, he didn't do it. Ah, Jasugi99 flagged. How? That felt like a game he really should have been mating. So GSVC said, I just started watching 3 games ago. And there are 25 left. So, yeah, he wants to get in on E2, maybe. JSVC in the chat being hilarious as usual. Okay, the one thing I'm worried about Jan's position is he hasn't developed his bishop on C1. But having said that, whoa, yeah, he also had nasty ideas here. So, okay, it's all over. He hadn't developed the bishop on C1 meant his back rank was weak. But maybe he had to go on a counterattack, but that wasn't so easy because the knight was guarding the 2 squares. But he did have 2 knights, so maybe something like knight at F6 first? No, maybe it didn't work. Okay. I see. So what's going on here is, yeah, Jasugi has still got a 12-game deficit with 24 games to go, rather. And yeah, I thought a pawn would land there, but okay. Bishop is interesting as well. King runs back. Probably just, if you had a pawn, you go pawn H6. He doesn't have a pawn, so it's not so clear. Okay, so Jasugi just trying to pile up. Okay, I was expecting pawn takes knight, pawn takes bishop, but no, he does this. Okay, yeah, quite a clever move, just wanting to open up the H file. Okay, Jan just building fortress around his king as he often does. Okay, what's the idea here? This looks dangerous actually for white, because a knight here is coming. Oh, we don't do that. I thought he was going to go this way, because then the bishop covered, in some sense. There's nothing, right? How can there be nothing? There must be something. Yes, there is something. Yeah, was there a way of evading it? I'm not sure, but I guess, yeah, that queen coming in was a great resource. Oh! Ooh! Ooh! JannLee really slipped there. That's kind of painful. um, that's a bad slip. He's doing okay given the slip. I guess the problem with when you slip is just means you've got no material in hand, so you're just playing down pieces. That's what's going to hurt. Just in that kind of position, I guess all you can do is somehow go for a flag. But 12 is actually playing quite solid. Okay, why can't you take that pawn? Well, we're going to see. Why can't you take the pawn? Okay, you lose this pawn. That's the idea. Oh, very nice. Just working on the dark squares. And yep, pawn there. Put another pawn there. Nice. Forced to go on a light square defense. And takes the knight. Now you've got a rook here and pawn here ideas. Okay, no, knight here and rook h1 ideas. And the pawn and the rook. So he wants to go, so pawn here, rook here, this sort of thing. Pawn here. Yep. But is there a counter? Not that I can see. White really wants a rook, because then a knight here and then rook here would be a smothered mate. So the plan is actually just queen takes rook. Interesting. He really wants a rook so badly. So that's a nice little trick. So rook at h5, defending h6. Huh, what do you do that now? Okay, just go in. Takes the rook, and rook at h1 is actually... Oh, okay. I didn't see that. So it's all over. Okay. So it's a 10-game deficit. Jasugi just winning 3 in a row just now. So we've done 88 games. Interesting. That's a surprising move. I guess the idea is to get in on f3 in the long term. That's sort of the long-term plan, as it were. But the black king is not comfortable, so you just kind of clear the space on d8 for the king. Okay, so he's chasing away the queen. What do you do in this position? Ooh, queen takes bishop. What's his plan? It seems like the dark squares are well defended. He wants knight at. Yeah, knight at is dangerous, and then light square attack. Knight, pawn here, and pawn here. So that's why JannLee's gone on a huge counter-attack. Which, is it going to be successful? He's only got one pawn in hand, that's the problem. Trying to pick up another pawn, probably, so defend with knight, I'm guessing. Ah, he doesn't... He doesn't though, and I think that's going to cost him. I think knight block would have been good. That's just my hunch. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Ooh, maybe not quite enough. At G3 takes nothing left. So JannLee loses a 4th game in a row, and it's just a 9-game deficit again. With 21 games to go. 21 games to go, and 12-teen is trying to win the last 21, 15-6. The same opening with bishop properly on b7 as he intended. And this is much nicer with the pawn getting to take. So this is actually much nicer for Jan. King's going for this. Takes. So you can see how the king's side is much safer. Maybe the only slight weakness is this square. This is very, very comfortable. Position, the only question is where does this knight belong? It's a bit, yeah, this was the only slight awkwardness about the position. Nice move. Bishop takes bishop. Huh. Had not expected that. So takes the queen, comes with check is what's awkward. You have to take it, I guess. Oh. No. So what was wrong with just taking it? Because now suddenly 12-teen is in control. Hugely in control. No. No. Just a discovered mate. Such a classic mate. Rook takes queen. Double checkmate. It's suddenly anyone's game again. I mean, if 12-teen can keep this up, my goodness. Jasugi 2803, JannLee 2790. Yeah, two really top, like two highest rated players on Lee Chess. So the idea is it's defended by the bishop, of course. He's trying to get in on here, he's trying to get in on here. Ooh, I think he's just going to take it. And he could also take. Knight takes pawn, bishop here is also nasty. Okay, gets a bit of initiative, checking with the bishop. Oh, is there something? Bishop, no, there's nothing. He wants a bishop. Pawn takes, knight takes. Okay, so 2 pawns for the queen. Okay, so quite nice play from Jan these past few moves. What to do? You don't want to let him queen, so then you're giving up the queen. But just going to take it. Takes here. He's still safe, I think. What is the idea? Just takes. Okay, now I just go for a mate. So queen e1 is checkmating. Okay, he doesn't do it. But he's going to find a mate here, for sure. And he does. So breaks the streak, gets to 50. Still those 5 games to go to guarantee the win. Gets the bishop on b7. We've seen this line. What are we going to see now? Defends his bishop. The knight sacrifices itself, but gets this really uncomfortable doubled pawns. We've seen this a lot. And the bishop takes on c6. Also covering here. Queen takes d3 we haven't seen that much of, because obviously then you get at c2 and a counter. It's a really great move, defends and attacks at the same time. And now d4 probably comes in, but no, it doesn't come in. Instead he goes for at g3. Now, I don't understand this move. Okay, so he's pinning. So takes will be takes here. So takes. I mean, he's just trying to desperately get in, but he's just lost too much material trying to do so, and there's no. Yeah, so white's in control basically. White has fortress built up, nice material advantage. Ooh, has to give up the queen though. Suddenly not so clear. Takes. He wants a knight. Why does he want a knight? Because bishop takes, and he wants knight h3. He wants pawn g2, takes. Again, knight h3 is a huge threat. So he just gets out of the way. Bishop takes g2 is a threat, just as this. Okay, so JannLee really in his element. 12. I don't think anything's happening here. Oh my goodness. He could have just gone back. I mean, okay, this is all over. Queen here's checkmate. He could have even gone back potentially, but also going forwards. I guess there are no checks. Jasugi didn't have a second knight, so that was it. So down to the last 18 games, and yeah, just 4 more games for JannLee to clinch it, which means Jasugi99 has to win 14-4 to take it to a tie, which will be tough. Streak ended, as it were. Okay, focusing his forces is Jasugi on the king side. Another way of playing it would be to try and do something on the queen side and then focus on the king side. But I think this is the correct way of playing it. Trying to keep a safe king. What is the entry point? F3 maybe is a slight weakness. What's the entry point for white? Oh, it's a little bit clearer. He wants to get in on F7. Get in on the light squares. It's quite a clear strategy. For white, he's made quite good progress, to be frank. But I think everything's fine. He's sacked hard, but I think it's just time. Knight takes, queen takes. So really, oh my goodness, he loses the queen. He is going to, yeah, he's lost it. And promotion. Not promotion, but yeah, checkmate. Nice mate. JannLee with 0.01 second on the clock. So, yes. So it looked like JannLee had sort of defended everything and just got rid of everything, and he was just going to get flagged, but at the last minute, okay, so you see the same opening played in so many of these games, so it'll be interesting to see after the match whether this opening was sound for both players. But certainly. Or whether one player was playing from an opening position, as it were, which is maybe a slight advantage. It's hard to say. I feel like this is. I mean, this against this d2 d3. I feel this should be reasonably good for black. Oh, but if you have a take on, then suddenly white's doing okay, I feel. But yeah. Having said that, this advanced pawn, okay, and then the moment that goes, yeah, that's white's attack gone. Takes the knight. Okay, so white's kind of fine now. Now what? Do you want to go? Just trying to think. He needs to defend the back rank. Ooh. And H2 is the real difficult threat. Okay, that's nice. So he blocks. Takes. Oh, that's just checkmate, right? No, it's not just checkmate. Not so clear. Not so clear. Takes. Knight takes. Oof. Rook. No, rook at h1 didn't work because of knight takes. Not clear, but only 7 seconds. Can he find something? Knight h2. Queen takes. Bishop check. So he's just going for flag. 3 seconds to find a mate. Takes a queen or mate, yeah. Okay, so good fight from Jasugi99. 94 games played, and that means only 16 games left. And we're down to an 8-game deficit. At g6, so what's the idea? Just takes and put something on e6, you'd have thought, but instead he goes for at g6. I mean, bishop at e6 seemed so much more promising. Why did he not do that? Okay, so JannLee is just trying to clear out the attacker. A knight takes bishop even is fairly annoying because you don't want to lose your bishop on g7. It's a great piece, and oh yeah, this is looking actually quite painful for black unless he has a counterattack somewhere. Unless he can find a counterattack, this is painful. So knight takes rook is a big threat. Okay, but no, nothing comes of it. Somehow you want to attack on the light squares. This is a yeah, this is a slight problem with white's attack, and black is getting back initiative. Really great move, knight at g5. The problem is just block with the pawn. Okay, and now he goes in for a mate. He can't take it because queen at g2. Yep, so just and it's checkmate. Pawn here, queen here, checkmate. Okay, that's now game 96. And JannLee edging ever closer to the magic number of 55. Ah, and we see a little mix-up in the opening. So he's putting pressure on the knight because he wants to take d5. And so counter pressure on the queen, goes check, and then saves the knight by blocking. He wants knight at c7, it's ignored, so there could be a knight c7 anyway, and a sack and then take the queen. That's one possibility, or knight at c7. Oh, knight at c7 is so tempting because it is check. But maybe the queen on knight here is, I don't know. He decides just to back off. Not sure if that was correct or not. I guess he thought with the bishop here is not so attacking. King goes out the way. What's the idea? He's going to go at h3, maybe, but okay, his queen is hanging, so he has to move the queen first. Queen trying to find a home where it's not going to get harassed, and this is actually quite painful for black because he just keeps getting harassed. He doesn't have knight here though, that's the thing, so that was a slight mistake. But he does have it now. Knight here, check. Do it. Knight here, check, and take the queen. Oh, he doesn't do it. Why does he not do it? Oh, because of this. No, but knight there check takes the queen. That was just, yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, that seemed really strong. But now what? Just blocks. Okay, 6 seconds against 13 seconds. So JannLee's doing just fine, but the problem is time. So check, he's going to queen takes pawn next. Takes, check, has to block, takes. 1 second, I think the problem is time. And he gets mated. So down to 8 games again. Game 97. So rook takes knight. I'd have thought d5, but nope. d5 doesn't work. I guess queen e5 check. Going for a queen trade. Does it work? What's the knight even threatening? I'm not sure. Because everything is defended. So quite unusual position from both players. Keeping up the pace. Okay, so what's the idea? So black's pieces don't seem that coordinated. Why can't we just take this? The problem is knight takes pawn check and the knight can't take back. So that's why black is just trying to put as many pieces as possible. But black just doesn't seem very well coordinated because knight takes. Wow! Just to show you that the final mate, the bishop was exposed. So it was actually, that was a beautiful smother. Queen at e8, knight takes, checkmate, it's a smother. Down to 7 games indeed. Jasugi has won 4 out of 5, which is exactly the kind of ratio he needs to really just to haul back this lead. So JannLee is going to get tested. Got to avoid being too passive. He's being far too passive this game. He has a 5-second advantage on the clock. Maybe that's the strategy. Just stay safe. It's a dangerous strategy. Takes the pawn. What's the idea of that? Yeah, he's definitely got a big advantage on the clock this game. 10 seconds. e3, just bishop takes. What's the idea? Okay, but just defend. The knight is hitting d2 and this, but oh, what? That can't be right. White's got so many pieces on the board. Just attack. I mean, he needs to lay his pieces on the board, is what I'm trying to say. There must be a mate here. He's going for defense first, sacks his queen, and mate is following because if the king. Yeah, I can't. It's going too quickly to explain, but the knight on d7 was basically keeping the king in a mating net. Okay, do you want to exchange queens or not? And white says, nope, no thanks. Yeah, which way do you go? He decides to run to c1. c1, so white's going to be thinking along these lines. Just backs off. So I don't want to. Okay, it's quite clear the idea. Just wants to hit c2. Takes. sacks his queen just for that. Just to get control of that diagonal. In the end, he doesn't get control of the diagonal, but his king is safe. Oh, queen h7 is a mate threat. Yeah, so he has to block on h7. Tempting to go here, but it's not good, basically. So again, he's going for... The problem of this... Yeah, h6 open, so it's not clear. Oh, he wants knight h6. That's the problem. And that's what my Jan is thinking. So he's going for knight takes pawn. He wants pawn here, but there's queen takes pawn, and you can't take it back because queen at h8 is mate. And Jan's time just ran down. Did have no defense. Okay, so we see this line. Takes the knight. Ah, interesting. So he doesn't take the pawn. And JannLee goes... Okay, so Crazyhouse answered before he could. So JannLee goes for a slightly different approach this game. Queen takes knight seems sensible, but then you have to guard against the mate on d1. So I'm not sure if this was completely wise, but... Ooh, so exactly, you can't take the knight because queen at d1 was mate. Now queen at e1 looks nasty, but just king takes bishop. So queen at e1's a threat, it's probably going to just develop. But then the problem with that is then knight here is a problem. And then knight takes here. It's not mate though. And Jan goes into a think. I don't understand it. Don't understand the think. That just got himself mated. I think he had to defend the back rank. He saw no defense. And again, we see 4 out of 5 games from Jasugi. So, I mean, of the last 10 games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the last 8 games, rather, it's gone 6-2 in favour of Jasugi. So the force is with Jasugi in these closing stages. But there's also a 6-game deficit. So that's actually 10 games to go. With the 6-game deficit means Jasugi has to win 8-2 these final 10 games. So at the moment it's $53 to JannLee and $47 to Jasugi. It's going to be tight. This looks very pleasant. For black, having said that, he's sacked quite a lot of pieces for pawns to get in, and he's now getting the pieces back. He's got a lot of bishops. Yeah, I'm not sure actually about this position. He sacked a lot, and like this knight's coming in as well at some point. Okay, no, it's not. Ooh, sneaky. So queen there is a mate threat if king takes. And if queen takes... I'm not sure. A lot of pawns, that's all I can say. This doesn't look very good. After all, for black, he's exhausted his pawns, and he has to somehow create some more material. It's not easy. Ah, he's going for a knight. Why a knight? Because a knight here and a pawn here would mate. Okay, he's got a pawn all the way to h3. Okay, just trying to trade as much material. Jan just playing very much just for this. Painful. Has he got anything? Just trying to defend. Yeah, he's mated here. Queen here. Queen takes. That will work. Arabian mate. So down to 5 games with 3 in a row. So really intense stuff here. Looks like JannLee is just going to be honest, it looks like JannLee is going to do just enough to win this, but it is close. Yeah, I'm not sure about. So yeah, I'm not sure about this. We saw earlier at g3, and I'm wondering why not just d4, and yeah, he plays d4 now because that defends the knight while also developing, so it's strong. And this bishop, allowing this bishop to take, sorry, to take here, you get good. If you can take here as well, you get good control on the diagonal. Okay, but Jan gives up his queen. Ah, this pawn on g4 is strong. At g3, the two knights is the problem. Queen there, check, blocks. Yeah, this is very strong for black. Again, I feel like Jan is sacked pretty hard to get where he has. It's just not quite. Oh, painful. I'm not sure about this. Yeah, now pawn here. Well, suddenly it's not so clear. And he has to go for some kind of counter. Well, pawn takes bishop, bishop takes pawn. Pawn here. And he has two queens in hand, so queen h. Queen h8. No, it doesn't quite work. I'm talking nonsense. I was thinking queen h8, king takes, pawn takes bishop, but queen h8, just bishop takes. How to defend? So this is the problem for 12 team. Yeah, how to defend. Pawn takes bishop, just, yeah, everything's. So he's just going for the flag, 6 seconds against 2 seconds, and JannLee takes that game. So it's a big ask now. Eight games left. This is game number 103. Interesting. So Jasugi99 piling up on e6. So he's taking the bishop because he wants to get in on here. Okay. So he wants to go. What's he want to do here? Slightly confused. It's Jan with all the knights. So I'm thinking it should be good, but I can't see how. That's a good move by the looks of it, because the point is if this. Jasugi just sacks the queen. If this, the knight takes bishop, bishop takes. There was the problem. Ooh, he's just going in for this g6. I think defense is too good. The defense is too good. Just defend with non-diagonals, and then white doesn't have the diagonals. 9 seconds each. Both sides. I mean, this is really, really good from both sides. Check. Knight takes bishop. Knight takes this bishop. Okay, going for the diagonal. Really good play from both 2 seconds, but time is the issue. Takes and queen h1 mate. Ooh, queen takes 1 second. 1 second. 4 seconds. Bishop takes rook. Oh, time's out. Oh, what a game. That was just. So Jan was slightly better all the whole time, but just time. Time was too difficult. Down to a 5-game deficit. Oof. He defends we have this situation. Are we going to get queen takes pawn? No, we're going to get this situation where you leave the pawn on d3. I think that's the right thing to do. Pinning the knight. This knight is being takes with the pawn. Interesting. Knight there, check. So he wants queen takes this pawn. I mean, this whole position looks kind of dubious for white, but yeah, even more so after you lose the queen. And there's no background, there's no... What a crush from Jasugi99. And it's 6 games to go and a 4-game deficit. That's kind of reasonable. I mean, 5-1 is plausible when you've just won, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the last 9 games, and you've won 5 of the last 6 games. He's going hard. He's definitely clawing this back. When you consider it was a 13-game deficit at one point. Oh, it's painful because this knight was coming in. Pawn there, king here, knight comes in. Potentially, he goes for this first. The knight comes in next. Again, he wants to come in with the... Oh, he wants knight in there maybe, but maybe he wants to leave that for a knight. How to... Do you get knight takes bishop? No, just chase this knight away, that's a good one. But if takes, then takes. He needs to defend this pawn in order to... Ah, interesting, so it takes... Okay. So 12 team dominating, but does he have time? That's the question. Okay, this is the weak square. You have to always watch out. What's the weak square? Just defend those weak squares with your everything. I think that's the weak square, but that's the weak square here. Check. Oh, f7 is weak. Here. Ah, Jasugi99 had it. Yeah, the king h6 was covered by the queen. I'll just show you that final position again. So that was checkmate. Again, a clutch win from Jasugi99. So now we're in game 106. So it could be a draw. It could be a draw. It's a 110 game match, so it could be 55-55. They might play on for a winner, but in terms of the prize money, it would be 55 each after 110 if it were 55-55. So it'd just be playing on for the honour of winning. But I'm just laughing at the Lee Chess chat saying, Katharaxi says 220 more games if it's a draw. He wants pawn at g7. That's the problem. The time is fairly level. He wants rook takes h7, so that's why the knight defends. Takes the queen. But g7 is really well protected. Okay, probably wants to just defend. Okay, he keeps g2 as if like a luft for the king, and then he's just trying to defend h2. Oh, he hasn't got that luft now anymore. So now he's given up the rook. So knight takes to queen takes. Knight here, bishop takes queen, and he's going to get mated. King, if king back, queen h2 mate, queen h2 is mate. Wow. It's a 2-game deficit. I still think Jan's the favourite, but my goodness, look at the last, so many games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 out of 8 games. The thing is, I feel like Jan just enjoys the drama too much. So 54-52 to Jan. Okay, time to get serious, Mr. Time to get serious, JannLee. So let's see what goes. What happens here? Bishop takes h2 as a threat. So black actually doing quite nicely in a way. Just takes. Not doing too badly. I mean, he's down a queen, I guess. Slight problem, but knight takes, bishop takes, and bishop here. Okay, maybe he's not doing so nicely actually. Oh, he is actually, because he can take this pawn back. So, but it's free bishop. Interesting. Ooh, kind of painful as well. For every pawn he's losing a piece. Okay, queen h2 is a mate threat. Queen h7 is a mate threat, rather. Interesting. Draw? Are they going to take a draw? Knight takes. Bishop is interesting. Oh, I think this is fascinating. Bishop there, check. Trying to get back control of the diagonal. Promote to knight is also an interesting idea. Oh, he wins the queen potentially, but decides to go for this instead. I think Jan is weaving some magic here. There's a queen in hand. There's always queen. Check. What's the idea? There's 10 seconds to go. Has he got mate? 8 seconds against 7 seconds. What is the idea? Jan running short on pieces. Knight takes queen, bishop takes queen. He's going for knight takes f7 mate. He's got to watch out for that. Is he going to get mated? He's going for a flags. Oh, Jasugi99 flags. Oof, so close. So Jasugi99 has to win 3 games in a row to tie up this match. Oh, we see a switch up. Bishop e2. But this seems good for black, to be honest. You get a rook for g6 potentially. Let's see what. Yeah, Jan needs a draw to win, as people say in the chat. 1 draw from the next 3 games. So he keeps his knight on f6. So you can see that the light squares in Jasugi's position are very weak. And white has a lot of diagonal pieces in hand. So it doesn't look so promising, this position for black. You gotta watch out for knight takes h3, a free piece. So he defends it with the bishop. Knight takes, bishop takes. Does he want to sack? Does bishop at h? No, doesn't work. Yeah, I think he does want to sack. Interesting. Very nice. So queen takes pawn, bishop here is the idea. But there's a counterattack coming. King h7, bishop here. Okay, so what's the idea? Rook here, checkmate at the end of it. Block and then checkmate. Very nice. If he'd gone the other way, he's also getting mated. So with that, Jan takes the match. Narrowly. And I wouldn't be surprised now that he's won the match if Jasugi wins the last 2 games. Yeah, it would be completely in the style of both players. Okay. Okay, so there's a slight weakness on G7, which, and this just makes it worse. The dark square weaknesses in Jan's position are not healthy. Having said that, oof, he just walked into this, and he's losing queen, and so suddenly this is just very good, very good. Queen at h3 is a threat, so I think white's losing this one. How can you defend? Queen takes bishop. Is good. He's looking if there's something more forcing. Ah, queen takes bishop is not good because of knight. Not so clear. So goes takes the rook. Rook there, check. Could be winning some pawns maybe. What's the idea of that? Just sacking a queen. Not sure if that was necessary, but takes pawn here, and the point is bishop here comes next, so very uncomfortable position. But now where's looking, just reinforcing the dark squares. Just defending on the dark squares, very hard to defend. So white's plan is clear away f7 and get a knight on g6, as it were. Yeah, actually, white's doing okay here. I think white might be doing okay here. If he gets a bishop, and then good defense. But 2 seconds against 2 seconds, anything can happen. It's just going to be, it's just flagging time. Oh, and Jan gets the mate. What? This is sort of classic JannLee. Just getting the mate out of nowhere. Oof. Indeed, classic JannLee there. And so it's not going to be the closest. It's not going to be 56-54 at the end, as I thought it might be. This is the last game. So the $110th is now up for grabs. Rook takes. Knight takes is going to be quite uncomfortable. The knight's going to take here, and this rook's under an uncomfortable pin. King maybe comes back, but bishop takes rook is coming next. Okay, this way is going to be knight takes rook. So white is bossing this game. Actually, white is safe, basically. Although the king is on a stupid square. King can come back, but then knight comes here is the problem. Okay, now it's white's turn to attack. He wants a knight. Just step back and, oh, he could just step back, right? Not clear. Tries to defend a bit, but then he's losing a rook potentially, but the rook's not a problem. Or is it? Hang on. Yeah, he doesn't. Black doesn't have a pawn. Okay, so quite a creative final game. What's the idea? He's saying queen takes rook. Right, it's a double check. Oh, he's got it. Wow. What a game from Jasugi99 to finish. Amazing. Wow. So the final score is 57-53, and JannLee takes it. So to summarize 2019, Oppoasen beat JannLee in the 2019 Bullet World Championship final after several months of the candidates tournament. And then in the exhibition match between Opperwaisen and Jasugi99, Jasugi99 triumphed. But in the head-to-head between Jasugi99 and JannLee, JannLee triumphs. So we have a triangle of wins. JannLee beats Jasugi99, beats Opperwaisen, beats JannLee. So next we need to have Katask against all three. Because Katask has been the breakout player of 2019. So that will be fun sometime. Maybe that will be in 2020. If he plays some nice matches, that would be something to look forward to. Okay, so great games. We have over 30 people in the Lee Chess chat. I'm going to post this to YouTube as well, and if you want to see the live stream on Twitch, you follow Mugwort Crazyhouse on Twitch, and Mugwort will also be uploading the live stream to YouTube. I thought it'd be nice just to have another stream from Jasugi's point of view. Okay, I hope you all enjoyed. Thanks everyone for watching, and good night. Have a good Christmas as well.